discrimination laws. During a roundtable with law enforcement officials in February, he said, "I'd love to see a shutdown if we can't get stuff taken care of. If we have to shut it down because the Democrats don't want safety, let's shut it down." 3 days later, he signed a new 2-year budget deal, ending a 5.5-hour government shutdown. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports efforts were underway Monday to rescue hundreds of climbers stranded on Mount Rinjani in Indonesia's Lombok Island a day after a powerful 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck the popular tourist destination, according to a disaster agency official. 14 people were killed and villagers were sent fleeing from their beds into open fields to avoid collapsing buildings. The quake, which rocked the island early in the morning when many people were still asleep, injured 162 people and damaged thousands of houses. Electricity was cut off in the worst-hit area, Simbalun, a sparsely populated area of rice paddies and the slopes of Mount Rinjani on the northern side of the island. According to a disaster mitigation agency spokesman, a 30-year-old Malaysian woman visiting the popular trekking destination was among those killed. The spokesman said the area was temporarily closed to climbers because there were reports of landslides. Hundreds of climbers were being evacuated from the Rinjani National Park and 115 have been safely escorted out so far. He added the most pressing needs right now are medical personnel, stretchers, health equipment, kids' wares, and food. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Patrons at a local Boston sports club watched dumbfounded today as an unidentified man's personal trainer forced him to put on an embarrassing athletic spectacle for the entire gym.
Like a machine, there you go.
According to sources, the degrading little show went on for nearly 45 minutes, with the man reportedly being paraded around every section of the fitness establishment doing anything his trainer commanded.
I wish I could turn around and concentrate on my workout, but I can't help but keep watching. He has to know how ridiculous he looks.
Sources added that the whole spectacle was made even sadder by the personal trainer encouraging the man to, quote, push himself a little harder.
It's like watching a trained seal.
Okay, so when you stand like that, you want to feel pressure in your knees, like this, right here, okay? Okay, give it a shot.
You root for him to tell the trainer that he's a human being with dignity and just to walk away. But no, he keeps subjecting himself to this.
All right, let's have you get on your back and walk like a crab. Come on.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype at Skype username LRN.FM. And joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Plus, you can join us on our Discord chat. There's a call-in line room there that's open for you. You'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio if you jump in there over at discord.lrn.fm. Coming up, Melanie's going to tell us about a cop who actually got fired for something. Now, I don't know what the story is. It's pretty rare to hear cops getting fired for anything
well,
at
you
all.
know why the only reason why cops get fired.
Usually it's some sort of sexual violation in what I've seen.
No,
in the
it's
past,
usually
but
because they went against the other cops.
that happens too, but very rarely. So we'll get back, or we'll get into that story coming up here. But we're actually going to continue a piece from last night that we started up in the last hour and did not get through, and I thought it was an interesting story about, according to The Guardian's Jonathan Rauch, life gets better after 50. He says the so-called midlife crisis is inaccurate, that there is a sort of a U-shaped curve, apparently, where happiness of an individual drops down in your early 20s, and stays down until folks hit their 50s. Then says it turns around and rises through late adulthood. And then we got into this 5 different points here that he's trying to rebut about the idea of the midlife crisis. So I'm going to pick up on the story here. Point number 1 was you're entering a danger zone, claiming that midlife is a time of transition and that it's actually, again, a very happy time for the people that are going through it in their 50s. Number 2 was I must be unhappy about something. Turns out the midlife malaise can be about nothing. And they talk about how aging can be very, very difficult for people and that could play a role in this. But ultimately, they come out of it in their 50s. Point 3 was midlife unhappiness is for low achievers. Surely if we're lucky enough, writes Rauch, to have to put lots of points on the board by 40, achieving or surpassing our goals, malaise won't strike. Wrong again. The most perverse effect of midlife malaise is that high achievers are especially vulnerable.
Oh, that's interesting.
The reason is what researchers call the hedonic treadmill. To motivate us, youthful ambition makes us unrealistically optimistic about how much satisfaction success will bring.
Okay.
Later, when we meet a goal, our desire for status and success moves the goalposts. Despite our objective accomplishments, we're not as satisfied as we expected. We wonder, how come I'm not happier?
Right. I can remember thinking to myself in my youth, man, I just like to be comfortable. I just want to make my insurance payments. I just want to make my, have a car that runs and isn't breaking down. I just want to not worry about making my house payment. If I could just have my bills paid, everything would be fine. Then we started Free Talk Live, and over time it became relatively successful. At that point, I'm just like, well, if I could just pay off my mortgage, then I won't have as much. The debt won't be as much of an issue, and that sort of thing. And then I'll be happier. And then, of course, I paid off the mortgage, and then more success comes, and these sorts of things. And I would say that not generally that I don't worry about money as much as I used to when I was young, but B, I am no particularly happier than I was when I was young, if that makes sense. Like now I have to...
But you're not less happy than you were when you were young?
I don't think I am, no.
You're about on par?
You think? Yeah, I know you have diagnosed me with midlife crises on multiple occasions. I don't see it that way.
Right. I think that most people probably wouldn't be able to see their own midlife crisis.
Sure.
Yeah, so people with goals tautologically tend to be people with goals, and the more likely you are to have goals, the more likely you are to have goals that you're not meeting. So
the
this
idea was you would
isn't
meet
really
goals
counterintuitive even.
Well, the idea is that even when you meet your goals, that doesn't necessarily satiate what it was that you expected out of reaching that goal. And that's kind of typical, right? It's the anticipation that's more interesting generally when you're trying to reach a thing, whatever that thing might be, whether it's a successful relationship or getting ahead in the career or whatever it is you've got, or getting some sort of special thing, a boat, for instance.
Yep.
Once you actually get there, it's not quite ever as good as you think it's going to be.
Well, I think that, and I know you're referring to my boat, the 35-foot catamaran that is now for sale in Rotunda, Florida. I think that, so for me, and I'm sure that this is probably true for many people, is when I was younger and not paying bills, not being able to pay bills, and it was hard. I remember dipping into my savings, and my savings was $1,000 that I had in my underwear drawer, that kind of thing. And I'd dip in there in order to pay some bills sometimes, and I really hated that, and it caused stress. Well, once you get all your bills paid, and then if you buy something else, new house, new car, boat, mistress, whatever it is that you're laying money out for, I don't think those should be discounted when we're talking about midlife crises.
Well, right, but if you don't have money for one next month, it's not like, oh no, this bill's gonna. I'm going to get in trouble for not paying this bill.
Oh, a mistress is the most expensive thing that you can put out there because your reputation is on the line in the process. Okay? So if you're going to fool around with younger women, divorce your wife first. It would be my best advice to you. This idea that you're going to lie to one person and then keep this other person on the line, very dangerous.
That just sounds like too much time and effort to me. But
I agree. It's not. I do not support as a married man with a wife. This is what I'm saying is this is a really bad idea. If you're thinking about this, or if you have embarked down this road, you need to solve that problem, because that's not something that's just going to go away. So,
okay, continuing here from theguardian.com. As this cycle of achievement and disappointment repeats over time, satisfaction comes to seem forever out of reach. High achievers are particularly vulnerable precisely because they set so much store by accomplishment and because they have so much to be grateful for. They often experience their dissatisfaction as unjustified and irrational, a moral failing. That makes them still more dissatisfied. Now, dissatisfaction is bootstrapping itself, creating a self-propelled spiral. None of this is to cast aspersions on building a business, earning a doctorate, having a family, or other admirable ambitions. Those things are well worth doing. Just remember that objective success provides no guarantee against subjective discontent, and indeed can make it worse, until the aforementioned changes in our values make it easier for us to jump off the ambition treadmill. Number 4. At 50, my best years are behind me. This myth is one of the biggest causes of discontent, because we assume that if we're not fulfilled at 50, we never will be. In fact, the happiness curve shows that, other things being equal, the best in life is yet to come. As we traverse our 50s, 60s, and 70s, aging makes us more positive and equable, and less stressed and regretful. This so-called positivity effect even seems to provide some emotional armor against the negative effects of physical decline and ill health. In 2011, a study led by Stanford University psychologist Laura Carstensen concluded, quote, contrary to the popular view that youth is the best time in life, the present findings suggest that the peak of emotional life may not occur until well into the 7th decade.
I agree with that, that as you age, but the evidence is as you age, you have more reasons to be happy. You will find more emotional satisfaction, these kinds of things. My only recommendation is to try not to wreck that ahead of time with bad decisions.
The false assumption that we peak in middle age not only makes midlifers unnecessarily pessimistic, it also fuels the stereotype of the burnt-out, bitter elder, which in turn fuels age discrimination that leaves vast reservoirs of experience and creativity underused.
I think that the midlife, so youth gets physical vitality, and it's pretty friggin' awesome. Take advantage of it, play sports, obviously don't break any bones, but, enjoy that. Midlife brings financial prosperity. That's when those are your peak earning years. And then old age brings emotional satisfaction.
That's what they're saying here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. And when you say messed it up, by making bad financial decisions.
Lots of bad decisions can be made along the way.
Yeah, more coming up here in moments. Your thoughts welcome on Midlife Crisis.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. That's AnyPay.global.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. Learn more at zencash.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.fm in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.fm. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free and join us right here. The number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And our Skype username is LRN.FM. There's also the Discord on-air call-in line room at discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com, great site to go to learn the basics about Bitcoin. Get started there. If you're brand new to cryptocurrency, where better to go? Bitcoin.com. But also, they got a lot of cool things that they promote over there at Bitcoin.com, and one of them is SaveItPurse.com, which is your way of saving 20% easily on anything you want to buy through Amazon. I know, because I do it all the time, multiple times per month. I'm on SaveItPurse.com, and I'm saving 20%, sometimes more. The most recent purchase I made took me a while to get it done because I wanted 33% off for it because I wasn't in a rush. And it took about 3 weeks for it to get snatched up. So what's happening is...
That's not exactly snatched. Picked up?
Yeah. Somebody grabbed it after 3 weeks. And the way it works is you have to use cryptocurrency. You have to use Bitcoin, and now Bitcoin Cash is accepted over at SaveItPurse.com in order to get these incredible discounts through Amazon. It's awesome, and it works well. Once again, check it out at SaveItPurse, SaveAtPurse.com. And again, the big news is they're now accepting Bitcoin Cash for your deposit there. As we go to your calls and thoughts, we'll talk more about the midlife crisis. Is it a myth? And does life actually get better after age 50? That's what they're saying over at The Guardian. But first, we go to Luke. He's calling us from Vietnam. He's watching via the Twitch feed at twitch.lrn.fm. Go ahead, Luke.
Oh, I just want to put in a song request dedicated to King Mark.
We don't do song requests, but okay, let's hear it.
I know, it's a funny one.
It's a joke.
Okay. Yeah. It's been censored from YouTube quite a lot. It's the Ove Shut It Down parody of Disney's Frozen. It's got a lot of lines that pertain to what's happened because he used the Free Talk Live's Facebook account to share his post to tell everyone to go report my mate's video and Ove shut it down.
Are you referring to a post he made about some Nazi video?
No, it was just a critique of. It was just a live stream critique of.
That's your mate, though, that you're talking about, right? There was a guy. I think you posted something, Mark, about a guy wearing like a Nazi armband.
No, he's wearing a Nazi beanie cap and had a Nazi flag behind him, a swastika flag.
Is that the guy you're talking about,
And then
Luke?
like a skull face mask thing on.
Is that the guy you're referring
Hey,
to?
I'm an open race mixer here. They just like me because of my research, and I wanted to call up about someone who's done an even bigger victimless crime spree.
But just to be
Derek
clear,
J.
that's what you're referring to. You're referring to a post Mark made on the Free Talk Live Facebook page about...
No, I actually shared my own post onto that
to the
page.
Free Talk Live page, which was about this video in which some Nazis were talking...
Suggesting that they were going to visit Free Talk Live's studios. In one case, they said...
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said they were going to, access the, the Wi-Fi network. I don't know how you would do that otherwise.
That was me. It was an experiment. I wasn't going to visit your studio. We're going to see what the range of your Wi-Fi was.
Luke, do you understand hold on, before you go on, like how threatening it might seem to somebody who has recently, 2.5 years ago, had their studio raided by the Federal Bureau of Investigations because somebody, perhaps, accessed this network to download child pornography. Now, we did have some hackers on the internet claim responsibility that they did it from afar. I don't know how they would do that necessarily.
You can't do that with Wi-Fi. You have to be there.
I understand, but
hey, time out.
Otherwise, there
we
would be.
weren't going to hack the network. We're going to test signal strength to see if it was plausible it could be used from the stop sign using Kismet.
Oh, you can.
There wasn't any.
I've sat out there on I've sat out there on multiple occasions and used the internet to check my phone and that sort of thing. So absolutely, you can do that. But besides that, the network is now much more secure than it was 2.5 years ago. So and the passwords have been changed and those kind of things. But that kind of thing. Anyway, the idea that Free Talk Live is full of a bunch of pedophiles, I think we've put that to rest, certainly for most of the listeners we have. So I have some questions for you, because I think this could be much more compelling. You are a self-affessed pedophile hunter, right?
Can I post the link?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to post the link of you, Mark, sitting next to one of your co-hosts admitting they downloaded child porn on the Discord chat if you don't ban me, and then you can ask me a question, okay?
Sure. What you're talking about is when Johnson, on the air, talked about when he was on the internet many, many years ago.
As a teen.
As a teenager, as a 15-year-old, wondering whether there was pornography of other 15-year-olds on the internet, and I suspect that there was. He said there was all just mashed together. So he didn't go out and download it specifically on its own, but he did say that, he was curious and that it was out there. So let's be 100% clear. When we talk about those kind of things, we want to be clear as to what was said, right?
Oh yeah,
okay, good.
It's still professing
possible.
to downloading child pornography.
Okay, but if you're a
Except they're not pictures of children.
yourself-
They would be pictures of teenage girls.
Luke, are you aware that one time Playboy was lied to and put pictures of a 17-year-old in their magazine, and that magazine is among the most valuable Playboy magazines as currently exists, and that everybody who has looked at that magazine throughout the decades is a viewer of child pornography? Are you clear on that?
No, because I don't read Playboy.
Now you do. Now you know. Because it's a really, as a pedophile hunter, you should know the lore of pedophilia and child pornography throughout the ages, right? So here's my question for you. How'd you get into this very interesting line of work?
Well, I used to live in Bakersfield, America.
Bakersfield, California,
93304 is the zip.
Okay.
And I had my life destroyed over there by a police officer who was convicted for child porn production and then parole violation. It actually got him.
How did that destroy your life?
What did he do to you?
He stopped me seeing my firstborn child with his attempts to murder me twice before, and then he was subject to 2 pitch motions, which is a nuance of Californian law. after the Gary Pitchess case to force the police department to hand over the names of all the other people who has previously complained against the police officer. So he was subject to 2 Pitchess motions before he was done for child porn production. I'm probably the only person in U.S. history who've had their charges of delay or resist own murder by COP 148A1 of the Californian Penal Code and $10,000 bench warrant dismissed without me even coming back to the court to face the charges because the police prosecutor was so bloody scared.
I can guarantee you are not the only person in America who that has happened to, because that is not an uncommon occurrence.
Luke, you are a hero for what you did. And I want to thank you for the work you put in to get this awful person off the street. Thank you.
That's one of the things that Luke and I had actually a brief interaction on our Discord chat the other night. Turns out he's a police accountability activist.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome
so
work.
We got stuff in common.
I can see why that would put you in the frame of mind to be watching out for people like this. So good luck to you, Luke.
Thanks for the call tonight, Luke, in Vietnam. More coming up here in moments. Your calls, thoughts, welcome. You can bring up what you want. More on the midlife crisis. Is it really a thing? And does life actually get better after 50? That's what they're saying over at The Guardian. There's, I think, one more point that they would like to make, and we'll share that with you. And you can share your thoughts, maybe your experience. Maybe you're in your 50s, and you can agree or not. It's up to you. It's Free Talk Live. Bring up what you want.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
Hey, Dave, you in for golf this weekend?
I can't. I promised I'd find a plumber to fix a sink and a painter to paint the...
Just use Angie's List.
Doesn't that cost money?
Not at all. It's free to find pros in your area who can do the work. You can even read ratings and reviews from other customers.
What about roofing pros?
Angie's List has pros for everything. And to save time, they'll even match you to the best pros for the job.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like I'll be able to play after all.
Find the best pros for your next project at angieslist.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring Simon to the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. Here, the toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. 855-450-3733. We've also got Skype at Skype username LRN.FM. Joining you tonight, Ian here.
Melanie.
And Mark.
Want you to know about Zencash. It is a cryptocurrency, and there are a lot of cryptocurrencies in the world today. In fact, an overwhelming number that you could never possibly even begin to
investigate all of them.
Check them all out.
Yeah.
You can't. So you got to look at ones that get your attention, and I think this one should, because not only has it got some of the best technology out there, like zero-knowledge anonymity, which is a great anonymizing system, but also they've got the decentralized autonomous organizations on the horizon to help govern the currency. They just launched their supernodes, which will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. They've got over 13,000 secure nodes, which puts Zencash at the very top, up there with Ethereum, one of the most popular world cryptos, as far as the most node count per network. That means their network is very, very strong. There's a lot of computers making it up. So go to zencash.com. You can learn more also about how it was founded by voluntarists, people who care about the ideas of liberty and good economics. So really, it's got all of the check marks that you'd want to see in a good cryptocurrency.
One of the things that I'm really looking for, besides the technology that Zencash has, which is awesome, is that they're really trying to put their, pile the blocks up on top of each other to make a very strong foundation for this currency, as opposed to the pump and dump, let's put a currency out there thing that has been done all along. I believe that they have the philosophical backing that I'm looking for, and they've made the right steps. Some things have happened along the way. There's no doubt every business is going to face challenges, but I like the way they've reacted to every one of them.
Zencash.com. Go there, learn more. They've got an official Zencash wallet for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Go and check it out, learn more, and check out the white paper at zencash.com. We go to the phones here to your calls and thoughts. Lloyd is on the line in Detroit, watching us at cam.freetalklive.com. Go ahead, Lloyd.
Yo, what up? It's Lloyd in Detroit. Yeah. Dude, that guy Luke is so boring, man. He sucks. He's not even funny, dude. At least James Whittakind, when you let him call in, at least he was entertaining. That guy just sucks, dude. But on another note, though, I heard Lauren Rumpler called in last night.
She did.
And yeah.
Are you her biggest fan?
I might be, but she actually said that she was flattered by that.
Yeah.
And she said that she, even though she has a boyfriend, she's actually still polyamorous. Actually, in fact,
that's what she said.
I believe
that means there's a chance for you, Lloyd.
A chance at what, though? Like a
Lauren
chance to be a backup?
Living in Detroit. That's what his chance is.
Well, I mean,
yeah, but listen, I
he
think
could move to Vermont.
Yeah, well, I guess I could, but the exact word she used was relationship fluid, which is really interesting because, as a matter of fact, I happen to imagine myself shooting my relationship fluid inside her every night, which is another interesting fact.
Get him out of here.
Thanks for the call, Lloyd. Appreciate it. That's great. 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. All right. So back to the story here on the midlife crisis. We're going through 5 of the points that the Guardian wants you to know, that they say things actually get better after age 50. They're kind of looking at some of the reasons why people have what they might call a midlife malaise. It says here, the false assumption that we peak in middle age not only makes midlifers unnecessarily pessimistic, but it also fuels the stereotype of the burnt-out, bitter elder, which in turn fuels age discrimination that leaves the vast reservoirs of experience and creativity underused. In the U.S., studies find that people aged 55 to 65 are more likely to start companies than those aged 20 to 34, and that older workers are just as productive as younger ones and increase the productivity of those they work with. But you would never guess this from the way we think and talk about aging.
Interesting.
I mean, it seems obvious. Like, the longer you had to get your stuff together, the more together your stuff is. This
and the more
seems
valuable
like an
you'll be because of that.
Yeah.
Number 5, midlife slump is something to be ashamed of. This is perhaps the most harmful misconception of all. Combine the false assumptions listed above, and the picture emerges of midlife crisis as an unjustified, self-indulgent form of acting out by fortunate people who should be more grateful. No wonder it's become a widely mocked cliche, something people tut-tut over. But the result is that millions of people who are working through a midlife transition do so in silence and isolation, afraid to talk about it, often even with their spouses for fear of setting off a family panic or being told they need medication. That needs to change. Isolation and shame compound the likelihood of instability and genuine crisis. Instead, people need support and connection. They need to know and to hear that they're passing through a perfectly normal and ultimately beneficial human transition. So that's the opinion there. So it sounds kind of like, I mean, on one hand, it says that midlife crisis is a myth, but on the other hand here, they're also kind of pointing out that it does seem to be a thing that people go through.
Well, if people say it enough, then it's going to be true, right?
They're calling it a malaise now instead of a crisis.
Yeah, well, it's an association, and it's going to happen to more people than than it would otherwise, simply because there's the association there. Also, people are going to say that any change you want to make in your midlife is your midlife crisis. So any change you make prior to that or after that is just
you're in the clear.
It's something, right? It's something else. But any change you make between the ages of, say, 35 and 55, and that's a good chunk of your life. 20 years out of 70 is a good percentage of your life. So any large decision you make at that point is then your midlife crisis.
If you want to comment on a midlife crisis that maybe you believe that you had, or you're in your 50s and you can confirm that your life is the best it's ever been, as they're suggesting here, I would love to hear from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got a Skype username LRN.FM. Oh, and apparently the author here, Jonathan Rauch, wrote himself a book about this. It's called The Happiness Curve, Why Life Gets Better After Midlife. So I guess that's sort of a little summary or an executive summary of his book.
Teaser to get you want to read the book.
So there you go. So again, 855-450-FREE.
So when I bought my 76 Eldorado convertible, which you did
see. This was
see,
a while back. You were in your 30s at that time, right?
I might have been in my late 20s.
Late 20s?
Possibly in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Certainly 30, 29, 30, 31, somewhere in there. And you saw that vehicle.
Yeah.
It's quite a vehicle. If I would buy that today, you would probably have called it a midlife crisis vehicle, right?
I don't know. I mean, you bought a fancy car recently.
You're saying a Honda Civic is a fancy car?
So when you get to the point in your life when you can actually afford a fancy car, if you buy one, then there's something wrong with you.
Right.
If you do it when you're 25 and should put a down payment on a house instead, that's just all fine.
That's what all 25-year-olds do, right? Spend money unnecessarily on cars they don't need. What did you pay for the Eldorado?
$3,000.
And what did you pay for the Honda?
$20,000.
Right, so that's way more money.
Okay, I understand that, but
I'm not saying that's a crisis. I'm not saying that, but like $3,000 is
my
nothing.
expectation. As a matter of fact, the reality of the Eldorado was my expectation was that I would get more out of it than I put into it. That was incorrect.
More as far as like women?
Dollars.
Okay.
Dollars. Oh,
you mean when you sold it down the line, you'd get more?
I would buy it for $3,000 and sell it for $4,000 or $5,000.
What would make you think that? Cars don't generally work that way.
A lot of the time they do.
The 1976 was the final year of the convertible, the U.S., the United States convertible, for 9 years.
So you thought it would go up in value over time?
It would have if it was a cherry mint condition and not used as a driver, which is what I did. I sold it at $2,500, so a $500 loss on a vehicle that you kept for...
That's not bad.
6 or 7 years.
I mean, you probably put some repair money into it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want. Coming up, a cop gets fired. Melanie will tell us what it was over. This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Hello, this is Dr. Bill Deagle, MD of NutriMedical.com, announcing the breakthrough Red Deer Velvet DR. It delivers the protected building blocks of all organs and tissues, allowing your own stem cells as architects and engineers to regenerate you. Not since fetal life, when aging does not occur, has such an amazing NutriMed been available to help heal you and regenerate you. Anti-aging requires that you correct mineral, activated nutraceutical, and jump the gene defects and poor diet you have to deliver the cellular tools for regeneration. You must remove old damaged cells and replace them with your young healthy cells to wind the biological clock to a younger you. Order your Red Deer Velvet DR now at NutriMedical.com 24/7 or 888-212-8871. That's NutriMedical, N-U-T-R-I, Medical, MEDICAL.com. Or call our order line 888-212-8871.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free and bring up what you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Skype username is LRN.FM. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Let's go back to your calls and thoughts, but first, I want to make sure you know about our Twitch channel. That's where you can go and watch Free Talk Live if you would so prefer. You can also, of course, listen to us through the Twitch, but it's an HD video feed from our Keene studio, and the Twitch channel is for LRN.FM, which is the Liberty Radio Network. That's the internet network that we're on. Of course, we're on 190 great radio stations around the country at various different times throughout the week. But if you want to watch us live, then go to twitch.lrn.fm during our live show hours. And if you're not sure what those are, they're 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time, 7 nights a week. And if you follow us on Twitch, and we're nearing 400 followers there, if you follow us on Twitch, and then you've got the Twitch app on your phone, or you've got the email notifications turned on, you'll get a notice whenever it is we go live. So if you want to check us out live on video in HD quality, go to twitch.lrn.fm. As we continue, we'll take your calls and your thoughts about what you want. It's Gene, the Christian Anarchist. He is on the Discord on-air call-in line. Go ahead, Gene.
That's a neuter gender term, you know. So it includes Melanie.
What was that? What includes Melanie? I'm sorry, I missed. You kind of clipped out at the beginning.
Hello, guys.
Oh, hey there.
Hello, guys includes the female gender.
I think it does.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
From an English standpoint, that's very, very defensible. However, if you just went ahead and said, hello, comrades, then it would certainly
That would not include me.
Wouldn't include me either. So, yeah, a midlife crisis. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Now, I'm currently 66, and, you know, I bought my first and only Corvette in 2011 for the Ron Paul, for the...
You bought a helicopter, though, right?
Right, but I'm getting into that. You know, we're going through the history.
He's in his
here.
60s.
So,
the midlife crisis thing's long gone at this point.
Yes,
maybe so, but maybe I'm a late bloomer.
Could be,
but
you're just gonna live longer, so half is further down.
So, I mean, everybody needs a hobby. I mean, helicopters can be a hobby, and you're not making money off of it, so it's a hobby, right?
So I bought the Ron Paul, the Corvette in 2011 specifically for the purpose of creating the Ron Paul Corvette, which I did.
And you did, and it was beautiful.
Okay, it's the only Corvette I've ever had, and then shortly thereafter, I bought an old used Cessna 172, which I still have, and then a couple years ago, I bought the helicopter. Now, this is classic crisis behavior, but
classic what behavior? Midlife crisis?
Midlife crisis behavior. But the fact is, I would have bought all these things in my 20s if I had the money.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I bought that I wouldn't have bought if I had the money when I was younger. So I think a lot of midlife crisis is just because as you get older, you have more means to purchase the
things you've always wanted.
Yeah, you've had time to get your life together, and now your life's together, and people are resentful of that.
Plus, you can't handle hangovers the way you could in your 20s, so you have new hobbies, right? It's not going out and drinking on the weekend and, having a hangover till noon or 1 o'clock and then going to Denny's and working it off and then partying again the next night. That's what you can do in your early 20s. But then by the time you move into your 40s, you get a hangover and it lasts for 3 days. And you've got to have different hobbies. Like this drinking till I black out thing just isn't going to work for me. And so you buy a helicopter or a bass boat or a jet ski or whatever it is that you buy, because now you can afford it because you're not drinking yourself into a coma.
Well, yeah, and so I think a lot of it is just the fact that people have money. That's it. Yep. I mean, either you've done well and you've managed your money and you have something at the end of your life, or you're flat broke and then you can't afford it anyway. So you can't go through midlife crisis because you don't have any money.
Which midlife crises buys make the most sense financially, Gene?
Oh, none of them, I don't think.
What about the Corvette? Are you going to be able to sell that at about what you bought it at? Barring oil changes and gasoline.
I don't think so. No, any kind of vehicle. If you these
Corvettes have resale though.
Yeah, but any car, unless you get a
Every car goes down in value, with the exception of very rare cars, like certain fancy cars.
There are new cars that come out where you can actually gain money when you drive it off the lot because they've they're limited editions and they're just not coming out again.
Very limited production.
Yeah,
right.
very few of those exist, but they do exist.
These car salesmen that tell you, "Oh, you're making an investment in this new car." No, you're not.
Probably not. Is the answer to that?
Car. Because the new car goes down as soon as you go off the lot. It goes down every year after that. So and plus you're paying interest on it. Most people. So that's a silly misconception that you're investing in your new car. No, you're not. You're losing money.
It's a liability from day one.
I have a friend whose hobby is to essentially buy new cars that he believes are going to go up in value, like researches these, and has some success doing this. But
some success means overall he's lost money, but he's had a couple cars actually go up in value.
Because
there's no way that you're going to keep buying cars and actually have your
I don't think he does it a bunch.
Portfolio go up.
He looks and looks and looks, and if you consider his time is of value, and that's not something that you're interested in doing, like me, I'm not interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Then it's probably best to just hang it up.
Gene, anything else you want to share tonight?
I'm glad you created that toxic user zone, and I hope that those people are stuck there and they can't get out of that area.
Thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. That he's referring to the toxic user channel on our Discord chat, which is where people who are so intolerably annoying and bad have to go, just because we want them to still be able to express themselves simply in a more limited fashion, where they can't express all over the server. They just have one special channel just for them. And so there's only 2 of those users right now out of 800-something people who've registered for the Discord chat. So I think that's pretty good. I think 2 out of 800 relegated to the troll zone is pretty decent.
Who is able to decide who goes into this troll box of yours?
Any administrator of the server.
So how many of those are there?
I believe me and Will Coley.
Okay. So it's not the mods, as it were.
I don't know. Maybe the mods can do it too. They might have the ability to add a troll zone. That's possible. I haven't really verified that, but there's a chance that they could do that, because they can certainly ban. If a mod can ban, I would presume they have the ability to change a user's class as well.
Okay.
So there you go. Which would mean that some of our amplifiers would also have the ability to do that, because some of them have been bestowed with moderation capabilities.
I think that's one of the best parts of being an amplifier is
the
that
power.
If you're in Discord, you have you have a special sort of notification that that's what you are.
Indeed. So if you want,
thanks to Jake and Scientology lover and Christian anarchist, who are all in there among others. Alaloka.
Oh, you're calling out our amplifiers. That's nice.
They're in there, yeah.
All right, so there you go. Discord.lrn.fm. You can go there. You can get interactive with other listeners, just like Gene, the Christian anarchist. He's in there frequently during our shows, so enjoy that. All right, so let's talk about the cop story. Melanie, you have something about a cop actually getting fired. What happened? Where was it? Where's the story from?
So this is in New Holland, Ohio. And it's in an incredibly small town, apparently, so he should have known better, I guess, than to think that he was going to... I mean, he should have known better than to think he was going to be a good person to be a cop, but especially in a small town like that. So, a police sergeant was fired... This is from Blue Lives Matter. So this is the pro-police take of this story. That is not me. This is not just... I mean, this is me hitting on cops, because why else would I bring this story in? But
your source is...
Ian did just mention that everybody has to have a hobby.
But your source in this case is a source that is the opposite of your perspective.
Yeah, so this is not Cop Block. This is Blue Lives Matter.
Okay, got it.
So it says... A police sergeant was fired right after he executed a search warrant on his own department, which doesn't even to me seem procedurally sound, but whatever. And filed charges against the mayor, police chief, and former police chief.
Wow.
Cops in a lot of places can file charges, so that's not...
Okay.
That sounds fine to me.
But he filed them against people that generally...
Right, but he filed them against the mayor, the police chief, and the former police chief. You can't do that.
Well, you can't expect good results if you do.
All right. I'm curious to know why.
New Holland police officer. Well, I guess we'll find out in a minute.
Coming up here. And your thoughts are welcome, whether it be corrupt cops or whatever happens to be on your mind. You can take control of the airwaves. Midlife crisis. Anything goes here. 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, Mark, you want to talk about Medicare, single-payer health care, universal so-called health care, and some of the numbers, I guess, have been run on this and what it potentially could cost. It's Free Talk Live.
Long-distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
Get relief for your neck or back pain when you search Amazon for Sunshine Pillows, heating wraps, and pads, often listed as an Amazon choice.
Why take another pill?
Now, from Sunny Bay and by customer demand, we introduce our extra long neck heating wrap, a complete wrap, wide and hands-free, and brings fast relief to those who suffer from neck or back pain.
You can easily find Sunshine Pillows on Amazon.
Or search Amazon for our new Sunny Bay disposable heat pads. Or look for Sunny Bay heated neck wraps for relief from back pain to menstrual pain and cramps.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder.
See why our company, Biomed DB Design, has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Just go to Amazon.com and search Sunny Bay, or call us 253-678-1361.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com. The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, July 30th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,222 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $29, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,134. Antiwar.com reports last week a delegation from the U.S. State Department was in Qatar to meet with Taliban officials. Officials are now saying that the meeting ended quite positively and that both sides have agreed to hold more meetings in the future. Taliban officials said this was short of peace talks and described it instead as meetings on the process of initiating formal and purposeful talks. They added that there were very positive signals from the meeting and that it was held in a friendly atmosphere. This was particularly significant in that the Taliban officials in Doha were willing to confirm that the meetings happened at all and spoke favorably about future meetings. In general, even when the Taliban is known to be in talks, they tend to be very reluctant to talk about it to the press. It is U.S. officials who are being more evasive about the process, with the State Department having affirmed that the U.S. is exploring all avenues to advance a peace process, but the delegation itself so far refused to either confirm or deny that any talks had taken place. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports President Donald Trump threatened on Sunday to shut down the federal government if congressional Democrats don't vote in favor of various border security policies. Trump shared a tweet Sunday morning stating he would allow the government to shut down for the third time during his presidency to secure funding for a border wall between the United States and Mexico and changes to U.S. immigration laws. Trump wrote on Twitter, "I would be willing to shut down government if the Democrats do not give us the votes for border security, which includes the wall. Must get rid of lottery, catch and release, etc., and finally go to a system of immigration based on merit. We need great people coming into our country." Immigration policy was also a central factor when the government shut down for 2 days in January as Democrats fought for a fix for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which provides a pathway for young undocumented immigrants brought into the United States by their parents. Trump had previously made similar statements at various rallies throughout the nation and said in February he would love to see the government shut down if Congress did not agree to changing immigration laws. During a roundtable with law enforcement officials in February, he said, "I'd love to see a shutdown if we can't get stuff taken care of. If we have to shut it down because the Democrats don't want safety, let's shut it down." 3 days later, he signed a new 2-year budget deal, ending a 5.5-hour government shutdown. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports efforts were underway Monday to rescue hundreds of climbers stranded on Mount Rinjani in Indonesia's Lombok Island a day after a powerful 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck the popular tourist destination, according to a disaster agency official. 14 people were killed and villagers were sent fleeing from their beds into open fields to avoid collapsing buildings. The quake, which rocked the island early in the morning when many people were still asleep, injured 162 people and damaged thousands of houses. Electricity was cut off in the worst-hit area, Simbalun, a sparsely populated area of rice paddies and the slopes of Mount Rinjani on the northern side of the island. According to a disaster mitigation agency spokesman, a 30-year-old Malaysian woman visiting the popular trekking destination was among those killed. The spokesman said the area was temporarily closed to climbers because there were reports of landslides. Hundreds of climbers were being evacuated from the Rinjani National Park and 115 have been safely escorted out so far. He added the most pressing needs right now are medical personnel, stretchers, health equipment, kids' wares, and food. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Hewlett-Packard is known for their basic, no-frills computers, but that doesn't mean they can't keep up with the latest technology. In a press release yesterday, HP said, quote, "We are excited to begin offering that cloud thing that everyone is talking about. We definitely have the cloud on our computers, and it is better than anyone else's cloud." Earlier today, I sat down with HP spokesman Gary Klinman, who said the company couldn't wait to show people, quote, how they do their cloud stuff.
We are absolutely thrilled that now people with computers or phones, both will now be able to back things up to the cloud.
Klinman says it isn't surprising they're, quote, up on the cloud, considering they're on the cutting edge of all the latest tech trends. Are there any additional features?
Crowdsourcing is something we are having. Crowdsourcing 2.0. We have social sharing. We have 5G, 6G, really all the Gs. We have app. We have all of it in the computer.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free, take control of the airwaves here at 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well. Skype username here is LRN.FM. Everything from the midlife crisis to the habit of people buying new cars, and some of them actually expecting them to go up in value, apparently. We talked about that tonight. With you in the studio, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
Something else that's been going down over time in the last decade or so is newsroom employment. Got some of the numbers from the Pew Research Center. As you might imagine, the newspaper rooms are suffering the biggest slashes, but it's happening across the board almost.
Radio news departments are almost extinct.
They almost don't exist. Yeah, that's true.
So I'm surprised if those are probably not included.
They are, but they're pretty low to start with, so there's not really anything to talk about with radio. So again, toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE. Also, the director that came up the other week, I think it was last week, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, who was fired from that project, has now been supported by his cast members on the movie. We'll tell you more about that coming up here. Mark, I know you'd pick that one for tonight.
Got it, yeah.
But Melanie, we had just wrapped up the first hour with the beginnings of a story about a police officer in a small town who served a search warrant, apparently, or was it an arrest warrant? A search warrant against the mayor?
Search warrant.
Against basically the city offices and the police department.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to arrest the mayor and the police chief?
I don't think he...
The story you said was coming from the Blue Lives Matter website. And it was within the first paragraph, I think, that it said. He made some arrests, though, right? In this?
And filed charges.
That's different from an arrest.
Yeah, that could go either way.
Okay.
I'm not familiar enough with that.
So filing charges could mean he just went down to the courthouse and said, I believe that, Chief so-and-so has done X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, usually when cops file charges, when they're allowed to do that, it's...
An arrest?
With an arrest, that's not necessarily... I can't speak.
Yeah, it would seem less likely that he would go and actually arrest the chief, as opposed to just going in and creating a court case against him. So, anyway, go ahead with the rest of the story.
Yeah, so then it goes on. New Holland police officer Sergeant Brad Mick filed a whistleblower protection affidavit with the New Holland Fiscal Office officer Marvis, I don't know how to say that last name, a week before he arrived.
So a whistleblower affidavit would give you a lot of protections.
In theory.
In theory.
A week before he arrived at a special meeting of the village council and served Mayor Claire Butch Betsko with a court summons. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like he arrested him. So it sounds like one of those ticket kind of deals.
The mayor's name? Okay, gotcha.
The Fayette Advocate reported that Sergeant Michael Mick filed the same whistleblower protection affidavit with the mayor, police chief, and the New Holland Village Council Vice President Greg Shaw. Which reads,
so this is like a conspiracy that goes all across the top of this town's government. Basically.
Yeah, so then they quote the whistleblower protection motion, which should protect him, in theory, against being fired.
But he was fired,
not
wasn't
being
he?
paid. Yes, he was.
Okay.
Being transferred or reassigned, denying a promotion, and
so what are the
reduction in pay.
allegations against these people? Does it talk about that?
Yeah, that they committed perjury.
Perjury, all right. And presumably he has evidence of this?
Yes.
Okay.
So on Monday night after he served the mayor, Sergeant Mick served New Holland interim police chief David Conrad in his office with a court summons for the charges against him and was fired on the spot.
Wow.
Because of course he was.
Right, the interim police chief.
So I'm curious if that's even legal to fire the guy on the spot who's just
no, it's not.
Said that they're
that doesn't mean they didn't do it.
Yeah.
The 420 rally is not legal either. It still happens.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It has my interest.
What else do we need to know?
Yes. So then basically he announced to the press that he got fired. He later announced
everybody was aghast.
Yeah. This is a town of 800 residents, so of course that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world does a town of 800 residents need a police department for? The county can't service them?
So there are other issues there, but it seems to be a volunteer police department.
Okay.
So he got
volunteer?
fired from the so he didn't even.
Is that a thing? I mean, I've heard of volunteer fire people before.
My dad was part of the sheriff's posse.
The posse.
Which was a volunteer organization.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I remember Val Silver was the GM at the radio station.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a firing per se. Like, people talk loosely like, I got fired from this volunteer position or I got fired from this MPO.
Yeah.
Well, it said he was
Is
a
that
sergeant.
a firing technically? I don't know.
Can you get to a level of sergeant in these different volunteer organizations?
I don't see why not.
Or aren't you always just like a posse member?
Well, I can tell you my volunteer fire department, which has one paid member, which is the chief, has lieutenant chief, has lieutenants. I don't think there's any captains, maybe.
Gotcha.
But
so they got ranks.
Yeah, they have ranks.
Yeah, I mean, you still want, a non-chaotic structure, even if you're a volunteer organization.
All right.
So he then reported to the press shortly thereafter because he had to move. And if you're not very stupid, already know that he had to move.
He physically left the town, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So he physically shouldn't drive through it either.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely not. So, and this is the part that kind of makes it sound like it's The Onion, but it's not. On July 5th, the Columbia Dispatch reported Chief Williams, Jason Lawless, had resigned his position and claimed he was moving out of the state for his wife's job. That was the guy who was involved in some of these search.
So wait, the chief, that's who the interim police chief was replacing, and it was the interim police chief who fired the sergeant who was investigating everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. And the chief left for what reason again?
For his wife's job.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if this guy was a volunteer or not.
So the chief wasn't really even involved. I mean,
the original chief.
Well, yes, he was, because the original search warrant was issued because so according to the search warrant signed
by a judge, presumably.
Yeah. Yes, a judge actually signed this by Municipal Court Judge Gary Dumb.
Dumb?
Yeah.
Judge Dumb,
all
Chief
right.
Lawless.
Chief Lawless and Judge Dumb, all right.
Chief Conrad is suspected of forging former Chief Lawless's signature on a form that was submitted to the Ohio Attorney General's office on July 16th.
Uh-oh.
The form was required to change the police chief's status from chief to reserve officer and had also been signed by the mayor. In the affidavit
Now, what does that mean? I mean, I'm not expecting you to know the answer to this, but what does it mean to change his status from chief to reserve officer? Is the idea that he's leaving town, so they're going to put him on the reserves in this volunteer department? I'm not even sure what that
it's
means.
a change in job title of some kind.
Where's the scandal here? I mean, I understand what he's saying is that, this new interim police chief forged the old police chief's signature on this paperwork to reduce his status to a reserve officer.
I don't know if that's a reduction or a promotion, but...
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
That sounds like a fire and offense to me.
If I go around forging documents at my job, I go to jail, but most jobs you get fired.
I'm not saying that it's good that he forged this person's signature. I'm just wondering, what's the benefit of this? I mean, if somebody's going to forge a signature, it's probably to get some sort of pecuniary benefit, right? Like some kind of money, some kind of thing.
If you forge a signature without pecuniary benefit, then you probably haven't committed the same crime as if there is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, what is the motivation here, ostensibly, for this forgery in the first place? Again, I'm not expecting you to know. But just asking out loud, for anybody that wants to weigh in, you're welcome to. The number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Is there more intrigue
So are you telling
here?
me the guy that served all these warrants and just wandered around is the good guy?
I don't think there are any good guys.
Well, he could be a bad guy too, but maybe he's trying to play for power and get rid of the other bad guys.
Yeah.
Who knows? Is there more intrigue here? Or we pretty much got the story.
Yeah, just there was witnesses, and that's about it.
All right, 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. Is Blockbuster completely done? We'll tell you about it on the way. It's Free Talk Live.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will bring network, economic, and technical improvements across the network. And the official Zencash wallet is available on Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. Zencash.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. Toll-free number 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Let's say you have a business, a small business, and you've got an existing accountant or a bookkeeper, and you're tired of paying what you're paying, and you'd rather have a real certified anarchist on the line. Now, I don't know if you can actually get a certification in being an anarchist, but Melanie,
I can get one from not Bitcoin, BitCop or whatever it's called.
BitCop?
Yeah, that, I think.
I didn't know they were certifying anarchists.
I don't know. I mean, they certify things.
They might. So anyway, you're a real anarchist. You're here every week talking about anarchy and such. And you're also a tax professional, so you can help people reduce the amount of damage that the government is doing to them and keep more money, hopefully, after they hire you. And Mark, you said you hired Melanie and that it actually paid for itself by doing that.
Yep, and that's first year, yep.
So how's everything going on the tax world these days?
Yeah, so most people don't have a whole lot of taxes going on right now, but I'm actually doing some contract work for a firm right now. I have a couple of steady clients also.
Contract work meaning bookkeeping stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
So unless you're behind, what people would need right now would be bookkeeping, which is me not only keeping up with your books, but going through and saying, maybe you can move this around or that around, incur this expense, don't incur that expense, so that at the end of the year, you'll get robbed for less than you otherwise would.
And you can be reached by going to tax.freetalklive.com, tax.freetalklive.com. That'll take you straight to Melanie's website, where there are ways to get in touch with her, schedule an initial kind of consulting appointment, I presume.
Yeah, so I usually talk with people either in person or on the phone, depending on where you are. Excellent. So we can set stuff up.
Yeah, so get in touch with Melanie. She can help you. Small business owner, individuals, couples, people that need help with taxes. She can help you. Tax.freetalklive.com. Let's get to some different news, unless there's something else that's particularly burning about this cop story. He got fired. We don't know what the allegations, whether they're true or not.
Yeah, there are just a bunch of witnesses that say, or willing to say, that the signature was forged.
A signature forged by an interim police chief on a document, falsifying the previous chief's signature. The sergeant in the department basically filed charges against the mayor and the police chief as a result of alleged collusion on this document. So
he also filed a charge against the chief for harassing a journalist.
Okay. Well, good for this guy. I mean, I hope it really pans out. It's very rare that we ever hear updates on these stories, so I hope we get an update on this, but it's hard, man. It's hard to come across that news. When it's just like a little town, we happen to see the headline on this. Very rare that we see any updates.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just suing for his job back, so...
He probably wants to be the chief.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, he's not the good guy here, right? There are no good guys in this story, except for maybe the witnesses and the journalist, maybe. So
a cop that wants his department to operate above board and by the law is a good guy.
Is that what he wants, or does he just want the position?
Does he want the position? Yeah.
I don't know what he wants.
So he can abuse people.
But
from
I'm saying
the chief's
willing to
chair.
make that statement.
I bet if we went into this town, we could find people who were abused by this sergeant at some point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, I mean, he's a cop. That's kind of by definition.
So in other news, the Anchorage Daily News, we just happened to come across this one last night. It was earlier, I think, this year, maybe late 2017, when we read the story about the fact that there are actually Blockbuster video locations, physical locations
that still exist
of this relic, that are actually in business, still existing. And it turns out that there aren't nearly as many now. So it's been less than a year since we talked about this story, and at the time there were, I think, 7 to 8 different locations. Most of them were in Alaska. There were a couple of them in Oregon and a couple in Texas.
And I don't think young people will ever know the kind of excitement that there is as a young person running into a video store, getting your
hands on the last copy of
the copy's gonna the video's gonna be there. Your mom and dad put whatever restrictions. You can get a 99-cent video or whatever it is, right? They have whatever restriction, and working within those restrictions, the candy, begging for the candy, begging for the popcorn, because they had all kinds of the upgrades there on the way out. And this was a ritual in America,
the Saturday night or Friday night
for so many families. They would spring for this amount of $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, and everybody would go back and we'd watch the video, pause it while everybody went to the bathroom, the whole thing, and it was a big deal.
Story from Anchorage Daily News. Headline: Alaska's last 2 Blockbuster stores are closing, leaving just one in the United States. The 2 remaining Blockbuster stores in Alaska are set to close, marking the end of an era in what has long been one of the video rental business's last strongholds. The stores, one on DeBar Road.
I don't know that a few stores in Alaska is a stronghold. I mean, the company's out of business, and these organizations, these stores just bought.
It's a week hold.
Yeah, just bought the name, but all right.
Well, what happened actually, I don't know if they get into it here, but what we learned the last time when we talked about this was when Blockbuster went under, which was like most of a decade ago, basically. It was
sounds right.
Around 2010, 2011, something like that. When Blockbuster basically closed the chain, there were some independently owned stores that still wanted to stay open. And so what happened was, I think it was DirecTV purchased the Blockbuster branding.
Okay.
They purchased the name with the big block letters and, whatever licensing rights came along with that.
Can't imagine what they're going to do with it, but all right.
They put up some kind of they're using it on their website as just a branding that, people in the Gen X are familiar with, right? Like, that's all. Okay. I don't think it's really anything else besides that. And then they DirecTV allowed these other stores to continue using the name by paying some sort of licensing fee to them to do that. That's basically it. The stores in Anchorage and another in Fairbanks, and by the way, this show is on in Anchorage.
What would be the point in continuing to pay? As a business owner who ran a video store,
to keep paying for the licensing fee?
To pay for the licensing fee of the Blockbuster name.
You mean as opposed to just changing the name of the store to Fairbanks Video or something like that?
Right. At what
there
what
might
price
be
point?
something in the contract that prohibits that.
Of going out of business and starting a new store in the same location?
That could be.
Maybe.
Okay.
But the company you contracted with is basically out of business. I mean, I guess the contract would still continue on.
And then as a bankrupt corporation, they would be legally required to sue you.
So the stores,
or just as a corporation, they would be almost legally required.
This story, by the way, was written a couple weeks ago. So it's basically these stores are essentially closed at this point. They closed a couple weeks ago for rental business. According to a post on their Facebook page, they will reopen at noon Tuesday for an inventory sale that will run through July and August. So they may still have, if they haven't sold out of their inventory yet, they may still be open, these two stores in Alaska, but they are on their way under.
Right, they're going out of business. The gob sale is on.
The closures leave just one store standing in the United States. That's Bend, Oregon. Thursday's news follows a smattering of other recent Blockbuster closures across the state, which had 13 Blockbusters in 2013 and was down to 9 stores by 2016. Kevin Daymood, general manager at the DeBar location, says it's tough to tell the customers. It really is. They're like family. It's hard to say goodbye. As Blockbuster stores disappeared from most of the lower 48 in recent years, the brand long managed to persist in Alaska. We'll tell you why coming up here in moments, but it's over now. 855.
It's got to be internet connectivity.
450 free. That's 855-450-3733. And then there's actually a kind of interesting news piece filmed at the last remaining Blockbuster.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial on in here toll free at 855-450-FREE. Like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well. Skype username is LRN.FM. There's also our Discord on-air call-in line room. If you want to share your memories of the video store. Now, there are actually some video stores that still exist out there, I'm pretty sure. But Blockbuster... They're
dying a slow death.
They are. Just like newspapers, for instance, and I've got some news about newsrooms going down as well, as far as the employments, the number of people employed by newsrooms across the United States. We'll tell you about that on the way here tonight. And Mark, you have a story about the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, an update on him being fired from that franchise and what's going on there. With you in the studio tonight, you do have Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And don't forget, you need to know about the Tom Woods podcast. Tom Woods is a libertarian that a lot of folks became familiar with during the Ron Paul campaigns of 2008 and 2012. He has written over a dozen books. He's a New York Times bestselling author, and one of his books is The Politically Incorrect Guide to American History. Since September of 2013, Tom has been putting out The Tom Woods Show every single weekday, which means he's racked up nearly 1,200 episodes so far, including great guests like Ron Paul, Judge Andrew Napolitano, David Stockman, and hundreds more. Topics including war, the Federal Reserve, net neutrality, the FDA, Austrian economics, and other subjects of interest to libertarians. You can find The Tom Woods Show online at tomwoods.com or search for Tom Woods Show in your favorite podcatcher. As we continue here, we're sharing with you the latest news on the fall of Blockbuster. Yeah, you thought they were gone, right? Well, they're almost gone.
Just about.
There were basically like a dozen or so stores remaining after the chain essentially went under back in the turn of this decade. But they've sort of been kind of eking along and then slowly dropping off the radar, and now they've dropped down to where there's just one more store remaining. And
in Bend, Oregon.
We're going to hear more about that here in moments. But first, let's go to your calls and thoughts. We've got Matthew in Louisiana. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, guys. This question is specifically for Melanie. I understand she does taxes.
She does.
So, yes. Is there a statute of limitation on tax fraud and or evasion cases?
It's fraud, what, or invasion?
Tax fraud or evasion.
So generally speaking, and there are things that can toll statutes of limitation in general, but generally speaking, the statute of limitations on that is 6 years. When that 6 years starts is going to be more of a question on an evasion case or failure to file case. That's for criminal penalties. The IRS typically does not go after you beyond 3 years unless there's a lot of zeros after that number or you have done something to specifically anger them.
Okay. I was just curious because this guy Manafort,
Trump's guy,
campaign delegate wrangler, he's supposed to be going on trial this week. And from what I'm given to understand, they looked at these issues that they're supposed to be trying him on back in 2006 and said, ain't nothing here. Go on, go away. And now they decided, oh no, there's plenty here.
Yeah, so that's, this is kind of one of the few times when you actually will get prosecuted. Most people will not get actually criminally prosecuted for things like tax fraud. Those are typically political cases, and they're typically not the IRS sitting in a room somewhere being like, oh, let's prosecute this person. Those are typically from on high. And the
like
IRS
when they went after Wesley Snipes? Something like that?
I'm not familiar with that, but like when they went after Al Capone. Now, Al Capone was a bad guy, but they didn't arrest him because he committed tax evasion. They arrested him for tax evasion.
That. Okay, well, that answers my question. And one thing about Blockbusters going under.
Yeah.
Now we won't be able to get our copy of Leprechaun 55.
Damn it. Hey, Matthew, before you go, where are you in Louisiana?
I'm in, right now I'm on the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, but I live in Metairie, Louisiana, which is right outside of New Orleans.
Now, are there any video stores in Metairie? Are there any video rental stores?
It's Metairie.
There are in some of the poor neighborhoods, and that's where the folks go to get their direct-to-video schlocky horror movie.
Okay.
Yeah, there is still a market for video stores that specialize in things like dubbed European films or horror movies and that sort of thing. You can still pull that off. Video Renaissance is a store that is probably that
still around.
I believe they're still there. Yeah.
Thanks, Matthew, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The story again from Anchorage Daily News reporting on 2 of the last 3 Blockbuster video stores. The last time we reported on this was within a year from today, I'm pretty sure, and there were maybe like 8 or 9 of them at that time. So they've really fallen off even more over the last year after the whole chain went out of business back in 2010, 2011. But the story here continues where Blockbuster stores disappeared from most of the lower 48 in recent years. The brand has long managed to persist in Alaska until now. Some have said expensive internet is one reason why.
That was my thought.
The stores have also been a destination for some who just visit for the nostalgia. For years now in Alaska, announcements have cropped up every few months that another Blockbuster will shut its doors.
You better visit any video store in your town quickly for the nostalgia because
it's over soon, yeah.
It's coming to an end.
The Wasilla, North Pole, and Soldotna stores closed this year, as did another Anchorage location. Alan Payne, who owns the Alaska stores through a Texas-based Blockbuster licensee called Border Entertainment, said he and his team determined about 9 months ago that it wouldn't make sense to renew any more of their leases on the stores that remained. The leases on the last 2 Blockbusters are up at the end of August. The last locations are still making a profit, he said, but that profit has been declining at a rapid pace. He says, quote, "It's always a kind of kick in the pants every time we close a store. But it's been going on for so long that the shock has worn off, frankly," he said, and he's based in Austin. He says, finally, this is not going to come back. We can't string this out any longer without creating some financial problems, unquote. Border Entertainment used to own Blockbuster stores in Texas as well, but those have also closed. Alongside Blockbuster, there are other independent video stores in Anchorage and Fairbanks. It's not just streaming services that have hurt the rental business, said Payne, attributing the decline in part to how smartphones and social media have changed the way people spend their free time. Then there are people who go to Blockbuster who don't even come inside. A Facebook post near the end of June on the Blockbuster Alaska page read, quote, "We see you out there taking selfies in front of our stores. Show them to us." Now, you got to be careful when you're on the internet and it comes to Blockbuster social media,
right? Because there's a lot of comedy out there.
Well, there is there's a hilarious. Let's see, it's on Twitter and it's called. There may be a Facebook version as well, but it's on Twitter as Lone Blockbuster, and this is actually what sparked me to look up Blockbuster again,
right?
Because I found this Twitter page, Lone Blockbuster, the last Blockbuster is what it's called.
Yes.
And it's a total joke page. But I had to make sure that it was actually a joke page and not just a Blockbuster with a really good sense of humor.
Right.
And so I looked at the claim of where its location was, and I couldn't find that there was actually a Blockbuster in that location. And then
taking Google Earth and looking.
That led me to actually look, well, does Blockbuster actually still have stores? And it turned out it did. But anyway, if you're looking for a good laugh, check out The Last Blockbuster on Twitter, one of their most recent posts from July 27th. Congrats to the Little League team we sponsor on a stellar 2-11 season. Enjoy the pizza party, you talentless hacks. It's right up there with the nihilist Arby's page.
Yeah, that's which is glorious.
All right, so there's a little bit more here about The Last Blockbuster. We're going to learn about it. It's in Bend, Oregon, and there's this cool little story that a news company did on people going to sort of make a pilgrimage to The Last Blockbuster, taking their kids to show them what things were like in the 1980s and 90s.
It's not a pilgrimage if you drive your car there.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Who has the only raw living whole plant hemp CBD extract in the world? MetaHemp Solutions, a radically innovative approach to hemp CBDs for exceptional results. Why? Because they contain absolutely all the elements present in the original plant. All our hemp CBD products are independently lab tested for potency and purity and manufactured in our FDA registered facility. Try it today. 10% off with coupon code GCN10. Call 833-858-7500. That's 833-858-7500. Or buy MetaHemp Solutions today at metahempsolutions.com. That's metahempsolutions.com.
Angie's List has collected millions of verified reviews of local home service providers, and now they're free for everyone to read. Angie's List makes it easy for you to find top quality service providers in your area for any type of home project. Search for a great pro in your area, or let Angie's List instantly match you to a few who can do the job. To get the most reviews from real customers, all for free, go to angieslist.com today.
Did you know that 35% of high school girls report that they've only had sex with 1 or 2 partners a year, instead of having the living shit out of them by any guy they see?
Did you know that only half of all 17-year-old males report without a condom, even though it's really the only way to go?
There are thousands of American teenagers today who are unaware of the full benefits of your brains out all day, every day. These otherwise average high schoolers haven't been taught about every chance you get, pounding each other dry, and never ever pulling out. Every sexually active high school student should know this stuff. Ditch the condoms, because it's always better raw. Stop worrying about STDs. Every chance you get. Just keep and strangers, doesn't matter who. And most importantly, be direct with your partner about how badly you want to their brains out.
This is the Onion News Network.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free and take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Don't forget, if you are on our website enjoying the content that we share with you there, the decade plus worth of audio archives, the year's worth of video that you can link over to, the chat rooms that we have on our Discord server, so much free content given to you over at freetalklive.com. If you appreciate the work that we do, if you like the fact that we're talking about the ideas of liberty and peace and cryptocurrency 7 nights a week here on Free Talk Live, then please join the AMP program. It is amp.freetalklive.com. It's a very elite group of listeners that has joined the AMP program. It's actually less than 200 people. So please, your help is much appreciated. It makes a big difference for us, and it allows us to effectively market the show to new radio stations, bring new stations on board, expose new people to the ideas of freedom. If that's worth $5 a month to you, well, you'll also get some pretty cool perks as a result of being an amplifier. You can go and learn more about it over at amp.freetalklive.com, ampamp.freetalklive.com. We are hearkening back to the past, back to the 1980s and the late 80s and the 90s, where Blockbuster Video had many locations. I think it was like over 9,000 or something. It was, it was everywhere. Down to now just one remaining as the Fairbanks, Alaska, and Anchorage.
Time inexorably destroys all things.
Well, indeed. And there's only one store hanging on as the Alaskan locations are completely going to close. They're in the process of their final liquidation sale. Now, the final store open is in Bend, Oregon. We'll tell you a little bit more about it here in moments. But first, we go to Eric. And if you want to share your memories of the video store, you're welcome to in this eulogy here. Eric, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Right on. I was calling in about cryptocurrency.
Yes, sir.
So I'm on board, right?
That could have saved Blockbuster, by the way. If they'd started taking crypto in 2011, they would still be here today.
It would have slowed it down. They would have got some gains and then still had a horrible business model.
Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
So, I want to get on board with this Bitcoin,
Yeah.
So I got a wallet on my computer several weeks ago, and I was like, man, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. I got on to Bitcoin.com and went to, they had recommended coin, I went on to a place that sells the most popular one. I don't know if you want me to name names.
Okay.
But tried to set up an account, which required that I give them more identification than it required when I set up a bank account.
Which company was this? Which company? Coinbase, okay.
Yeah, Coinbase is white market.
That would have been my guess, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I'm cool with that. They got to know who I am. I understand. I want to do this legitimately, right? So I give them all this information, link them to my bank account.
Yep.
So they, they could run away with the kingdom, all my savings and everything.
They could.
And I said, okay, guys, I want to buy some Bitcoin. So I get onto my account on their line. They won't sell it to me. My limits aren't high enough. So we wait a week, and they deem my limits high enough after a week.
Yep.
And I say, okay, time to buy some Bitcoin. So I said, I want to buy $500 worth of, just not a whole lot, but I'm starting out, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would
not even a tenth. That's not even a tenth of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, right. That was Friday. They're promising me that by Saturday I'm going to get it. And then it'll just be in my account on their website.
That's right.
I'm skeptical it's going to end up in my wallet.
Yeah, so that's how exchanges
work. It's going to be a
work.
currency that's going to be widely used.
Yeah.
They got to work out some bugs, man.
So that's how exchanges work in general, not just with cryptocurrency. If I go buy stock on an exchange, I'm not going to get it
I got
physically.
Stocks on an exchange, and you got to submit ID. A bank transfer takes 24 to 48 hours.
Right. Okay.
I can move funds from any of my stock accounts with the quickness.
So let me explain to you what you're experiencing here. You're going through Coinbase, which is sort of like the big bank of crypto, basically. They're slow, they're invasive, they want to know everything
Scared
about
to death
you.
of the government.
Yeah, they're very obedient to the government. So like a lot of exchanges, you do have to apply with all kinds of identifying information. But unlike the other exchanges, Melanie, Coinbase is the only one that takes a week to deliver your cryptocurrency. If you were to put your, for instance, use a wire transfer to send money to an exchange, it would usually be there the same day, like you're talking about, Eric. And in fact, Coinbase actually does accept wire transfer, but the method you sound like you've used is their ACH method, where they will withdraw from your account via ACH, which takes longer. It can take a few days, and then Coinbase, for whatever reason, takes longer than the transaction itself.
Well, Coinbase is also a startup that is not necessarily big enough for the volume that they have.
Oh, no. They're quite big. They actually have their own exchange called GDAX, and you can wire into Coinbase.
That has nothing to do with their number of employees.
Okay. But they're big. They've got a lot of volume. They have a lot of trades.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They haven't grown
the Bitcoin world
enough to support their volume.
This has nothing to do with the delays. The Coinbase delays have been there for years. It's always been that way with Coinbase. If you order through their ACH system, it's going to take a week.
I think it's corporate culture.
It's just the way they've got their things set up. It may be so there's in a couple extra days to make sure the funds have cleared and aren't going to get pulled. I don't know why they have it being 5 or 6 business days, but that's just their policy. There are other ways to get Bitcoin that are much faster. Like I said, the exchanges, the other ones.
I think every other way to get Bitcoin is faster.
Is faster than Coinbase. Yeah. There's also localbitcoins.com where there's some risk of fraud, but generally you're going to get what you want the same day, usually within about an hour or two. There's also the Bitcoin vending machines, which you can go to coinatmradar.com and you can look and see if there's any of them near you. I don't know how many of them are in Iowa, but there may be one. And then you literally just walk in, put cash into a machine, and you get your Bitcoin. I would say that you don't have to worry. The Bitcoins are going to show up. It's just going to take a week when it comes to Coinbase. So there are many ways to get Bitcoin that's faster than that, but you're sort of going through one of the more affordable ways. I think Coinbase only charges like 1.5% for this particular fee, but on the other side, it's going to take you a long time to actually get the coin.
I appreciate the insight.
Yeah, there you go. So just hold on, man. It's likely coming. You just have to be patient.
I think he's right that it needs to be easier for people to get into crypto. And Bitcoin.com usually has the best ways to do that.
Well, Bitcoin.com will sell it to you directly. I've never tried that, but I know there is a way to do that.
And that's fast.
And I'm not sure. You've tried it?
As I understand it, it's quite quick. I've been in their offices.
You've never tried it?
No.
Okay, got it. So, Eric, thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. So, they're talking about the last Blockbusters, the ones that are closing in Alaska. 2 of the remaining 3 stores in the process of their final liquidation right now. They're talking about the people who go to Blockbuster but don't even go inside. And the Blockbuster in Alaska was apparently tweeting about them, asking them to basically come in because they're just standing outside taking selfies. Kelly Vey, the district manager for Fairbanks, sees people. I'm amazed they even have a district manager. What are you managing? There's only one store in that district. Sees people in summer and winter alike hopping out of their cars to snap photos, then drive off. She says, I wish they'd
That's gotta be annoying.
Yeah. She says, I wish they'd come in and buy something. All day long, I joke that I need to put a picture of somebody in the window to photobomb them. In the Fairbanks area, Vey said the challenge of getting speedy, affordable internet service is one thing that brought people to the store. The news of the closure has been devastating to regular customers, she said. It's kind of emotional. I'm getting some tears, getting lots of hugs. The Anchorage location recently acquired Russell Crowe memorabilia, including a jockstrap Crowe wore in the 2005 movie Cinderella Man, gifted to the store by John Oliver's HBO show Last Week Tonight. I'm guessing they did a piece on the last Blockbusters.
Yes, they did. And, you know, they are a great comedy.
The memorabilia is probably going back to the owner, which is fine because I don't want a jockstrap in my house, said the manager. It's not clear what will happen to the memorabilia, said the owner. He added his team had explained to people involved with Oliver's show the stores probably would not be open for much longer. He said, quote, "We were very upfront with them and they said, that's okay. We want you to have it anyway." He said, "I'm not sure what we're going to do with it." At the Bend location in Oregon, General Manager Sandy Harding said there are no plans to close. She was shocked to learn that her store will soon be the only one left in the country.
Shocked, I tell you.
Yep, she said, quote, "Alaska had always been. I thought they'd outlast us. If you'd asked me 14 years ago, there's no way I'd thought we'd be the last one. It just seems a little crazy." Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. I don't think there's a video store left here in Keene, New Hampshire.
No, there was one that's strangely, so the video store closed down, and really, really, really strangely, a video store and bookstore, a video bookstore, moved into that same slot.
That's true. It's a mostly new video / books, but there is, I believe, a used section, but it's not a rental store.
It's not a rental store, but I mean, you know,
I agree with you. I was surprised when
it was as though they wanted to play Russian roulette.
Yeah, I was surprised when an old media distributor opened up in that spot. But I don't think there are any more rental stores around here. There's more coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
Get relief for your neck or back pain when you search Amazon for Sunshine Pillows, heating wraps, and pads, often listed as an Amazon choice.
Why take another pill?
Now, from Sunny Bay and by customer demand, we introduce our extra long neck heating wrap, a complete wrap, wide and hands-free, and brings fast relief to those who suffer from neck or back pain.
You can easily find Sunshine Pillows on Amazon.
Or search Amazon for our new Sunny Bay disposable heat pads. Or look for Sunny Bay heated neck wraps for relief from back pain to menstrual pain and cramps.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder.
See why our company, Biomed DB Design, has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Just go to Amazon.com and search Sunny Bay, or call us 253-678-1361.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, July 30th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,222 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $29, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,134. Antiwar.com reports last week a delegation from the U.S. State Department was in Qatar to meet with Taliban officials. Officials are now saying that the meeting ended quite positively and that both sides have agreed to hold more meetings in the future. Taliban officials said this was short of peace talks and described it instead as meetings on the process of initiating formal and purposeful talks. They added that there were very positive signals from the meeting and that it was held in a friendly atmosphere. This was particularly significant in that the Taliban officials in Doha were willing to confirm that the meetings happened at all and spoke favorably about future meetings. In general, even when the Taliban is known to be in talks, they tend to be very reluctant to talk about it to the press. It is U.S. officials who are being more evasive about the process, with the State Department having affirmed that the U.S. is exploring all avenues to advance a peace process, but the delegation itself so far refused to either confirm or deny that any talks had taken place. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spend-A-Bit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spend-A-Bit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports President Donald Trump threatened on Sunday to shut down the federal government if congressional Democrats don't vote in favor of various border security policies. Trump shared a tweet Sunday morning stating he would allow the government to shut down for the third time during his presidency to secure funding for a border wall between the United States and Mexico and changes to U.S. immigration laws. Trump wrote on Twitter, "I would be willing to shut down government if the Democrats do not give us the votes for border security, which includes the wall. Must get rid of lottery, catch and release, etc., and finally go to a system of immigration based on merit. We need great people coming into our country." Immigration policy was also a central factor when the government shut down for 2 days in January as Democrats fought for a fix for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which provides a pathway for young undocumented immigrants brought into the United States by their parents. Trump had previously made similar statements at various rallies throughout the nation and said in February he would love to see the government shut down if Congress did not agree to changing immigration laws. During a roundtable with law enforcement officials in February, he said, "I'd love to see a shutdown if we can't get stuff taken care of. If we have to shut it down because the Democrats don't want safety, let's shut it down." 3 days later, he signed a new 2-year budget deal, ending a 5.5-hour government shutdown. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports efforts were underway Monday to rescue hundreds of climbers stranded on Mount Rinjani in Indonesia's Lombok Island a day after a powerful 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck the popular tourist destination, according to a disaster agency official. 14 people were killed and villagers were sent fleeing from their beds into open fields to avoid collapsing buildings. The quake, which rocked the island early in the morning when many people were still asleep, injured 162 people and damaged thousands of houses. Electricity was cut off in the worst-hit area, Simbalun, a sparsely populated area of rice paddies and the slopes of Mount Rinjani on the northern side of the island. According to a disaster mitigation agency spokesman, a 30-year-old Malaysian woman visiting the popular trekking destination was among those killed. The spokesman said the area was temporarily closed to climbers because there were reports of landslides. Hundreds of climbers were being evacuated from the Rinjani National Park and 115 have been safely escorted out so far. He added the most pressing needs right now are medical personnel, stretchers, health equipment, kids' wares, and food. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
While waiting to interview for a web consultant position with local marketing firm Bizco, applicant Ryan Ehrlich told Onion reporters he wasn't entirely sure he was dynamic enough for his prospective employer.
When I first saw that the agency was looking for a leader willing to contribute as a valued member of the team, I thought I was the perfect fit. But the more I think about it, the less I'm sure I'm actually an energetic self-starter. I mean, I think I'm a versatile, independent thinker, but honestly, how do you even know for sure?
Ehrlich, who found Bisco's online job posting earlier this week, went on to express doubts that he truly possesses the forward-thinking instincts and next-generation idea assets required to work with the fast-paced marketing firm's team of self-starters.
Can I reimagine a brand for a digital landscape? Sure, but do I really have the energy, skills, enthusiasm, and passion to be a part of this dynamic, growth-oriented company? I just don't know. Oh God, who am I kidding? There's no way I'm on the cutting edge.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program. Coming up, the Guardians of the Galaxy director said some offensive things on Twitter years ago, and somebody dredged it up from the graveyard and dragged it out and got him fired, apparently. And now there's development in that story. Mark, you're going to share that on the way. Since we're talking movies here, we're talking about Blockbuster Video, the very last days of the chain, which is no longer a chain because there's only one store remaining in Bend, Oregon. After years of shutdowns, the entire chain technically went out of business almost a decade ago, around 2010, 2011. And there have been a few stores that sort of held on, sort of franchise stores that wanted to continue licensing the name Blockbuster to try to keep it going. And they did. Some of them did for, most of the last decade. But it's finally pretty much over. And here's an interesting piece from CBS This Morning, posted just a couple weeks ago about visiting America's last Blockbuster store. Again, this is the store located in Bend, Oregon.
What was once the largest video rental chain in the U.S. with thousands of locations will soon be down to just one little store. Where? Bend, Oregon is home to what could be the last Blockbuster in the country. The company closed nearly all of its stores after going bankrupt back in 2010. Jamie Yucca shows us how people from all over the world are traveling to Bend, or maybe the country, traveling to Bend for a piece of Americana.
In its heyday, there were close to 9,000 Blockbuster stores worldwide.
That's amazing.
At one point, it's estimated a new store opened every 17 hours. Now, There will soon just be this one. And while that iconic sign used to tell people where to rent movies, it's now become a must-see destination.
And it says best selection, as if that's compared to anything.
That sign's probably been there for a decade.
It doesn't look
two decades.
faded, and it's in the window, so probably not.
So there's this next scene here. They're showing a family standing outside of the store. Mom's got the cell phone. She's standing back. Look like maybe 3-4 sons are sort of surrounding the Blockbuster logo on the side of the store. And there's a little photo op going on here, which apparently goes on all the time.
1, 2, 3, look here.
In a digital age where streaming video reigns supreme, this represents how many people used to retrieve home entertainment.
Drop Return, open late every night. Well, the perfect video store.
Welcome to Blockbuster Video.
It's obviously an old commercial from whenever in the 90s.
Is popping up all over the country.
If you want to rent movies from Blockbuster in the United States today, you'll have to come to Bend, Oregon.
We came here all the way from across the country.
The chain was once ubiquitous
Why?
in strip malls and on street corners. Now the last surviving box store has quickly become an attraction of its own.
Just being here is kind of like cool because it's the last one.
For people like 15-year-old Charlotte Jones, browsing through the stacks of about 14,000 movies in person rivals any experience offered online.
When you see them all next to each other, it's kind of makes it easier, but with on Netflix you only see the title. And
I gotta say, I agree with her. I mean, she's kind of like one of those old teenagers, right? Like, she can appreciate the fact that there's something about being able to look at, a bunch of things at once in front of you.
In alphabetical order.
Right.
I think that you can be exposed to cover art.
Right.
In a way
that's not possible on Netflix. Yeah, that's
not possible on Netflix. Now, I'm not saying that that's good. I'm just saying that it's true.
It's different.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another way to experience video, is looking at it alphabetically through cover art as opposed to having a short description or whatever. I mean, cover art is still an issue.
I suspect you can look at videos alphabetically on Netflix.
I mean, Netflix has the little square. It's not like it's just a list of text.
No, but they're little pictures. I mean, they're not the full-size, DVD cover art, which is a little bit larger, right? Like if you're standing in front of the racks, it's probably a little more in your face, a little more lifelike, if you will.
Yep.
Let's go on here with her opinion, though.
And that's all. We have to scroll through it, and it takes a while to get through all of the movies.
Dan and Natalie Bacon traveled from neighboring Idaho to share the nostalgia with their children.
When you guys hear that that's how your parents used to date, is that they would come in here and spend an hour picking out a movie and then go home, what goes through your mind?
It's kind of weird.
With the
I love the reaction of the young people in this video. These guys don't get it. They're like, why did you drag us here, Mom, Dad? We don't understand.
Arrival of Netflix in the late 1990s, Blockbuster stores began disappearing just as quickly as they arrived. Last week, there were only 3 in the U.S., including 2 in Alaska, where expensive internet and long winters help keep the stores in business. On Thursday, the Alaska stores announced they would close for good.
Did you ever think you would be the last Blockbuster?
No, I didn't.
Hi, this is Sandy. Can I help you?
General Manager Sandy Harding says customers visiting the Blockbuster in Oregon treasure its customer service and familiarity.
All alphabetical, so it still comes all the way around in the alphabet to find them.
So that
that was supposedly one of the things about a video store, right? Was they'd give the staff access to rent as many videos as they wanted, so that way the staff would know about what movies, what they are and who's in them, and have opinions about them. And
one would presume that the staff would then be obsessive about videos, right?
Right, and then you could pick their brain and ask them what the best new movies were or whatever. You don't get that on Netflix, although of course you do have reviews from tens of thousands of users.
I don't see how that's at all valuable. Hey, random guy I know nothing about. What movie should I watch? You know nothing about me. Thanks. Okay.
Hasn't changed in years.
No,
you might as well go on Facebook and say, what movie should I watch next?
That's better, because at least people on Facebook know something about you, even if they don't know you.
So here's an interesting part of the interview.
All the way around in the alphabet to find them.
So that hasn't changed in years.
No, nothing really has changed. I mean, everything's the same.
That's why you're out of business.
Because nothing has changed since 1990.
Signs. I think if a customer walked in here, they would still be like, oh, I can find that movie, because they remember. It's like the library. You go and you kind of know where things are.
Even the computer system is turn of the century.
These computers look like they are from the 90s.
Oh, they absolutely are.
Cole Stevens calls all of it history.
They show the picture of the computer monitor, and it looks like it's it's a blue background with gray text.
Yeah, and this is a consumer level tech company.
Yeah.
With early 90s tech and early 90s marketing structures.
Pretty much.
It's a piece of history that I never got to experience, so it's kind of fun to come and check it out.
This to you is history.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a history lesson.
That's accurate.
How does that make you feel, Mom?
It makes me feel very old.
The store's owners don't plan to close anytime soon. In fact, they say as long as they can pay their employees and turn any type of profit, they'll keep these doors open as long as possible. If that doesn't work, they joke they could turn the store into a museum. For CBS This Morning, Jamie Yukas, Bend, Oregon.
They probably make more money that way, honestly. He's just like, okay, $3 to come walk around Blockbuster.
So that's it. There you go. The last Blockbuster, not to be confused with the Twitter channel called Last Blockbuster. Also, it's at Lone Blockbuster on Twitter. One of the updates from Lone Blockbuster, July 22nd, made another sale.
Yeah, that's
because that was so newsworthy that they had to put an update.
That was worth saying, yeah.
About it. Let's go to Don. He's on the line in Rhode Island. Don, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, what's on your mind?
There's a site on human trafficking.
I can barely understand you, Don. You're going to have to get on a better phone. It's way too bad. Thank you for the call tonight, though. Appreciate it. Toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. At Lone Blockbuster, July 12th. Our return slot handle has been baking in the sun all day, and it's been burning up people's hands. Second-degree burns. So please bring your rentals inside or use the oven mitt we left on the ledge. Remember that? Remember the return slot?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. If you want to comment on the death of Blockbuster Video, do you still have a video store where you live? And do you ever go there? Toll-free number 855-450, free, like freedom.
I remember I have been to a video store within the last decade, but it was it was going on anachronistic at that point.
Sure, anachronistic being out of its time, basically. All right, so let's go into the story about entertainment. The director of Guardians of the Galaxy fired recently amongst a bit of controversy. Mark, you've got an update on that piece on the way here. Your calls and thoughts. Welcome. This is Free Talk Live.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com. The omega-3 fatty acids. Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa. The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's post pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You know, everything I know about video stores today, I found out because I found the Blockbuster, the fake great satire channel on Twitter, @LoneBlockbuster, because they linked actually in one of their recent posts, June 25th, hey, @Family Video, next time you send your goons out here, make sure they finish the job. And they, it looks like a fake photoshopped picture of the Blockbuster logo sort of vandalized. And it's obviously fake, but Family Video is a real video rental store, and apparently there's over 700 of them, and it seems like most of them are kind of clustered in Michigan and the Wisconsin, kind of Illinois, that area. With you tonight, by the way, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
We're sort of investigating the last remaining video stores in the United States as Blockbuster's final two of the final 3 stores are closing their doors. Let's go to... Oh, hey there.
What the heck is that?
Guess we didn't turn that sound off. We got the new Skype in
Ever
here.
since Skype reinstalled the new version on my computer, everything's messed up on it.
Yeah. Well, I'll see if I can figure out what's going on with that, because I've got the toggle set in-app sounds turned off. So I don't know. Sorry about that. So we'll get back to that here in a moment, but let's go first to Dodger. He's on the line in Michigan. Dodger, you are on Free Talk Live.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I got home from work. I actually passed right by a Family Video. Actually, it's right across, kitty corner from where I work. I have to go to it by it every day, going to and from work. And I get home and, did my little plant thing and turned on, went online, and you guys are talking about a place that I passed by 5 or 6 times I double that because I got to go to and from work. So at either rate, yeah.
Now, I noticed you say you passed by the Family Video.
Yeah,
so
it's kitty corner from where I work.
When was the last time you went inside one of their stores?
I can't remember the last time I went in any video store. And the people that I know that actually do go into video stores, the only reason they're going in is for games.
Oh, yeah.
To rent a video game, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be because you can't easily rent a game online, right? Like, it's a little harder to do that. You can't just stream the game for rental purposes. There are, of course, like Steam, for instance, where you can download games online for cheap, but you can't rent them.
There was also, back when Netflix rented actual discs and they sent them to you, there were video game versions of that.
That's true. That's true, where they ship it to you in the mail.
Netflix still does that.
Really?
Netflix still does that. I have a coworker. She has streaming and videos.
But and video games.
It's their same business model. No, I'm talking actual. Oh, you're talking video games.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, we're talking physical games.
I know she does. Yeah, she does it with DVDs, and Netflix, she pays for the streaming and she pays to where she can have X amount of videos out at a time. I think pretty much Netflix killed them because they started out. I remember before they did the streaming, when streaming wasn't possible, me and my now ex-wife, that's what we did, is we had Netflix, we pay a monthly fee and we're allowed so many movies at a time. And then of course they added the streaming, and that just killed the video industry. But the funny thing is I see that place dozens of times a week. Actually, a lot of times when I'm at work, I can look across the street if I have time and actually see a Family Video, and I'm like, I'm actually going to have to walk in there one of these days just to, because it's been probably about a decade since I've even set foot in a video store.
Well, apparently somebody's still going because they're still in business, which is interesting.
You need to go in there and check out what's going on and report back.
I think that there are exactly 2, and the metro area that I live in is about 150,000.
Well, their website says they've got over 700 across the region up there, across Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, and I think Indiana. They've got a lot of these things. And in fact, I just pulled up an article from Newsweek about, and actually it's a fairly fresh article posted within the last 5 or 6 days, about how they managed to stay in business while Blockbuster's completely gone under, basically, at this point.
Well, I still almost I never see more than 3 cars in the parking lot, so
and
that's
probably 2 of them are the employees. Thanks for the call, Dodger. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. As we go to David in New Mexico, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello, David. Hello.
Hey, yeah. Every time I hear someone say Bend, Oregon, I hear Beavis and Butthead laughing in my head.
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah. Go ahead. What are you calling about?
That was good. Cops.
Okay.
Cops murdering black men. So I didn't listen to your whole program.
What'd they do in Albuquerque now? Is it Albuquerque again?
No, it's the Minneapolis one. There was some news on that today, and I'd be surprised if you hadn't already gotten wind of it.
What happened in Minneapolis?
You know what I'm talking about? Cops shot down a black dude, and the cops been off on leave for several months, with pay, of course, and it came down today, I believe it was, that they're not going to charge them with anything. Now, if you watch the video, which I recommend everybody does. Man, it's not even your typical cop shooting. It's one bad decision after another, of course, by the bad guy, but also by the cops. And I can go through them one by one, or you can watch the video.
On what basis are we classifying him as a bad guy?
Yeah, was he actually a bad guy?
Well, if we're going to follow the unjust laws that we have in the United States, if a police officer gives you a lawful order, you have to follow it. He didn't follow the cop's orders. He started to run. So he chose to commit a whatever misdemeanor or felony, whatever it is, and the reason the cops were called in the first place is because there was a report of he had a bottle of gin that he was drinking in public, and
Jesus.
So technically, right. So that's the first thing.
Dying over a bottle of gin.
None of that sounds like a bad guy to me. Drinking and then running away when someone
just sounds like a bad decision.
I think that there was also part of the report that someone was firing a gun into the air in that immediate vicinity.
Yeah, there was a report of it, but I haven't seen any evidence of it. And when the cops roll up, the dude is sitting calm as can be on his butt on the curb talking to some lady with a stroller and a young child, and the cops roll up and tell him to get his effing hands in the air or whatever, and he decides to run. And let me save you some time, Melanie. When I said a bad guy, I was being facetious.
Okay.
So anyway, the dude runs. And after the cop says, the cop is there to enforce public drinking. And so the first thing, and the cop rolls up and he sees that the dude has a sidearm on his hip, which would be, I don't know what the laws are in Minnesota since I left there, other than I do know they have concealed carry. So the cop doesn't know if he has a concealed carry or not. And his shirt has ridden up over his holstered gun, which should be no big excitement. But the first thing the cop does is tell him to get his effing hands up over his head, and the dude is he's got a backpack there.
So did the cop shoot the dude in the back as he was running away?
I think I saw this video. Was he running in between 2 cars?
As he was saying, "Please don't shoot me."
My God, hang on here. If there's an update, we'll get it. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733, and not atypical. It's Free Talk Live.
Hi, I'm Patrick Kolbeck, and I'm running for governor. How would you like to eliminate our state income tax and senior pension tax? Immediately, the naysayers in Lansing who live off the taxpayers' dime shout, "That's impossible." Really? Michigan generates a net $10 billion from income tax annually. Michigan's budget has increased by $10 billion over the past 8 years alone. I have a practical, milestone-based plan to eliminate the state personal income tax without harming schools or public safety. Principled solutions prioritize your best interests, not lobbyists. Paid for by Patrick Kolbeck for governor.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love,
and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free. Join us here on the radio. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. It is not too early to get your tickets to Anarchapulco 2019. In fact, now's the time.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's almost too late.
Well, it's too late if you wait more than 24 hours because then the early bird special is over. You could still get your tickets after that, but you're going to pay more. So if you want to get the best deal on the Anarchapulco 2019 tickets, you need to go now to anarchapulco.com, use code FTL. That'll save you 15% off the early bird price. So that is the best possible price you could get for what was a sellout conference this year. And what is, honestly, the largest gathering of free thinkers, voluntarists, libertarians, and anarcho-capitalists happening in Acapulco, Mexico, February 14th through the 19th of 2019. Big names will be in attendance. Ron Paul.
Yes, they will.
He's coming back. So if you missed him this year, you get another chance in 2019 at Anarchapulco. Also, Judge Napolitano making his first appearance at Anarchapulco. Doug Casey, Larkin Rose, and likely dozens and dozens more speakers soon to be announced. A great lineup of speakers, and of course, Free Talk Live will be there again, broadcasting from the event. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Go to anarchapulco.com, use code FTL. Like Free Talk Live, get your 15% off the early bird prices through the end of tomorrow, I believe. July 31st is the expiration. I don't know if it's over at noon on July 31st. I don't know if it's over at midnight tonight, July 31st. So if you're listening to us live, you better get over to anarchapulco.com, code FTL.
Yeah, the speakers are great. And obviously the presence of Napolitano, Judge Napolitano at Anarchapulco shows that it has arrived from a libertarian, event standpoint. But I would say that it's totally worth it just for the atmosphere. If you never stepped into the room where you heard the speeches.
Yeah, I barely went in there.
It's still an incredibly great time.
Absolutely. Anarchapulco.com, code FTL. As we go back to David.
They had a party there.
New Mexico. David, you said there's a shooting case involving police officer in Minneapolis who shot a man to death. Who was just trying to run away because he was probably scared of being beaten by this psychopath as he shot him to death basically shot him in the back as he was running from the scene of where he was drinking in public. So there's now a dead person. There's a body over a drinking in public so-called crime. And you said, what was the news in this case?
Well, I believe I looked at the video for the first time today, and in fact, this is the first time I heard of it. And I think the reason that I heard it on the news today was because today was the day that they announced that there will be no charges against these officers.
Wow.
An Officer Kelly and an Officer Schmidt. And today, I believe, was the first day that the video was released to the public. And that's why it probably hasn't. That's why I didn't know about it. And so I looked at the video, and it was outrageous because, like I said, the cops were called for shots fired in the air. I heard the cops say something about that the guy has a bottle of gin or something like that. And so they roll up, and the cops are all calm until they see the gun on his hip, and then they freak and they say what I said. Get your effing hands in the air. And the dude stands up and makes his decision whether to stay or to run. He decides to run. And so there's your contempt of cop, Melanie. And so when he starts to run, the officers start chasing him on foot, and they chase him literally for like a block and a half, two blocks, maybe even 2.5. And finally they're going down an alley. They're halfway down an alley, and this chase has been going on for like 30 seconds. The next thing the cop says after, put your effing hands on your head, and I'll continue to bleep for you. He says, that's another funny thing. If you watch the video on the Washington Post, they censor the language, but not the execution. It's pretty funny. And then the cop says something MFer. So he calls him an MFer, because he's mad, contempt of cop. And he keeps running, and the black dude says, as he's running, the cop says, "You got a gun?" And then first the dude says, "No, I don't." Is what it sounds like, and trying to conceal the fact that he's got one. And then the cop says, I saw it or whatever, and the dude says about 6 times, he says, it's in my pants, it's in my pants, it's in my pants, so that they won't shoot him because it's not in his hand. He's telling them that I'm running, but I don't have the gun in my hand. It's in my pants. And then the cop says, "I'm gonna shoot you," which is the same as I'm gonna kill you, because if I shoot something, it dies. And so the cop says, "I'm gonna shoot you if you don't, comply." And so right there, the cop's telling him that I'm gonna murder you for these crimes that I'm charging you with, trying you on
in public.
I'm gonna murder you for being faster than me.
Yeah, exactly. So they're running down this alley, and the dude is they're about even. The cop's not really gaining on him or losing on him, and then for whatever reason, at this point, frankly, the dude has the right to self-defense. When the cop rolls up on him when he's peacefully sitting down for nothing more than and he sees a gun on his hip, and he takes him by surprise.
He had a right to self-defense the second the cop walked into his line of sight.
Right, but the cop's demeanor and all the things I said, especially the fact that the cop told him, "I'm going to kill you." He said, "Shoot," but that's the same as kill, because anything I shoot at dies.
David, thank you for the call. Thanks for bringing this story to our attention. I appreciate it.
Right. So I believe it was the police chief who came out in support of his officers and basically told politicians and local press that had made a big deal about this to better shut their effing mouths because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. The video's out, and my understanding of a fleeing felon law is that the police need to know that a felony has been committed and it has been committed by the person who is fleeing.
Is the felony fleeing?
The Supreme Court, and I kind of doubt that drinking in public is a felony.
Nope, not.
But the Supreme Court has ruled that states are not allowed to decriminalize civilians shooting a fleeing felon who was just robbing them or whatever. So it is not legal for it to be legal for you or I to do that when there's actually been a property violation.
I don't understand. What? There's too much legalese in there for me to understand what you're saying.
So this cop was shooting a fleeing misdemeanor or whatever the word
violation. Drinking in public could be just an ordinance violation.
Yeah, or maybe not even that, a fleeing ticket.
Yeah.
And that's fine. He's probably not even going to get fired. Whereas
they've exonerated these people. They're getting medals.
Yeah. Whereas, so if there were states at some point that had laws that did not limit their self-defense statutes to, so if someone broke into your house or broke into your car or whatever, and you shot them as they were running away, the states had that legal. They were basically like, well, the battle's not over till it's over. Do what you have to do. And then the federal Supreme Court overruled that and said, no states, you must make that murder under your statutes.
Oh, well, that's interesting. As I understand it, Texas, it's not too long ago, some guy shot a couple of people who were robbing a house for a television and shot them dead. And the police...
he shot them while they were robbing the house, or he shot them while they were running away?
Running
those
away.
Are different.
That's what I thought. They were running away.
Let's go to David. He's in San Francisco. David, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Melanie, and Mark.
Yeah, how are you?
Hey.
I'm baby boomer, so I remember Vietnam War days and days of revolution and the whole idea of, we got to take the country back from the man and all this sort of junk. And, well-intended people. But listening to that previous caller describing, the guy getting shot in Minnesota, if the guy was one of those NRA supporting right to carry kind of guys, and he's just showing off that he can go out in public carrying his gun, he's asking for trouble. And there's damn fool, and there's
why would he be asking for trouble simply by open carrying a gun?
Well,
it happens all the time here in New Hampshire.
In cowboy days, you didn't go into an open theater or a darkened theater with your guns. Quite often,
well, he wasn't in a darkened theater. He was on the sidewalk.
This is.
I understand that. Then you go into a bar with drunks.
Hold on, David. We'll bring you back here in a moment. It happens all the time here in New Hampshire. People open carry.
I don't think it's a good idea to carry a gun while drinking.
Well, I would agree with that, but that's
it's
not
not
what
a
he got
death
shot
sentence.
for.
It shouldn't be.
How many cops drink on duty?
Good question. Certainly a lot of them drink afterwards.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com. DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world. and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com or 888-212-8871.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Moments remain. Enough time for you. If you dial in now, our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
By the way, I want to make sure you know about freetalklive.com, where you've got a Discord chat room, actually several chat rooms on our Discord server available to you 24/7, where people are talking about various different things at pretty much all times of the day and the night, 24/7 there. Before, during, and after the show, there's a room for Free Talk Live discussion. There are other rooms as well on various different topics, from cryptocurrency to video games and more. Go to discord.lrn.fm. You can get interactive there for free, and there's an app that you can download for pretty much all the phones and operating systems, or you can just use their web version if you prefer, over at discord.lrn.fm. Dude on the line in San Francisco did drop off. He sounded like he was calling to suggest that because a man had a gun open carried, that he was asking for it. This man in Minneapolis who was apparently allegedly drinking openly while open carrying a gun.
It may not have been an open carry. It may have just been that his gun became visible.
Yeah, it wasn't clear.
After he was running away from a potential... No, he shouldn't have been drinking and carrying, but that's not what was attacked. What was attacked is that he shouldn't have been carrying, period. And that's...
Our caller who had brought the story to our attention made it sound like the officer saw the gun initially on approach, that his shirt had stopped covering it and or had started covering it. I wasn't clear on the status of whether or not it was intended as an open carry but had become covered, or that it was intended on a concealed carry and had become open. That wasn't real clear to me which of those two is the case. But either way, he was quietly consuming his beverage in public, and
we don't know. I mean, the report was that a gun was being fired into the air. He could have been the one doing that,
but there's no evidence for that.
There is no evidence. Right. So
when the cops approached, he was apparently just sitting quietly and drinking, talking to a friend there, and shortly thereafter had his life extinguished by this officer who has now gotten away with it because there will be no charges filed against the officer. And even if charges had been filed against the officer, it's almost impossible to convince a jury to actually punish an officer for doing something like this. So it's just tragic. It's outrageous. And drinking in public shouldn't be illegal. These are part of the reasons why we have the police abusing so many people is because there are so many crimes. There are so many nonviolent, peaceful acts that are considered criminal within this system. If all they could do was go after murderers and rapists, I don't think people would be as angry if one of them, took a bullet in the back every now and then, an alleged murderer or rapist. It's still bad. I'm not advocating for it, but it's like the cops are constantly messing with people for the piddliest of crap, and they frequently escalate it to absolute violence to the point of death in many cases.
Right, and I don't have any evidence that this person was the one that was firing the gun in the air.
Right.
But as far as
there's
I'm
only
concerned,
one person we know was firing a gun that day, and that was that cop.
Firing a gun into the air is, well, far as I'm concerned, firing the gun in the air is some like low-level attempted murder. Negligent homicide, I think, is probably the best way to describe it, because those bullets go up.
They're coming down.
And then they come down.
Yep.
And people have been killed by them.
Yeah, absolutely.
In one case, a child sitting in church, the bullet came right through the ceiling.
People have also been killed by cops shooting at supposed bad guys.
And that's the other thing, is when it comes to these fleeing felon laws, I'm not entirely prepared to say you should never be able to shoot somebody who's running away. But if you shoot somebody who's running away, they need to have done something that's worthy of being shot.
Yeah, so I'm not against shooting somebody who's running away per se, but what was this guy running away from? He was running away from a victimless crime.
Right, and we've been clear on that.
It's not that it was excessive force or retaliatory force and you like only defensive force. It was that it was just only aggression. So, no, you can't do that.
Right, and so as far as I'm concerned, if somebody broke into my house, stole my television set, and was running away with it, I'm not going to shoot them in the back. And here's a couple of reasons why. That person's life, no matter how despicable that individual is, maybe they're even teasing you as they did it. Ha ha! You can't run, fat boy, right? Or whatever it is they're saying. What their life is worth to me more than that television set. We just picked up a TV for rental for $300, a 50-inch TV for $300 at Walmart.
Okay.
You can't tell me that that a thief's life is not worth more than $300.
But there's some assumptions built into that, like how bad you need the TV, how easily you can get a new one. I'm not willing to put a dollar amount on deadly force because that only tells me how much the aggressor benefited. It tells me nothing about how much the victim suffered.
Okay. The TVs don't generally cause suffering, and those are things that are often stolen.
Generally, no, but I'm not willing to put a hard and fast rule. These types of items, this dollar amount, a human life is worth X amount of FRNs.
If I have discharged a weapon, Melanie, it's because somebody in my family's been hurt.
Right, yeah, and so...
Or threatened.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm not... And I'm not going to shoot anybody over TV either. I don't even have a TV, so I don't know if that's particularly relevant, but there is a amount of theft that can occur, and it depends on where the victim is at and how bad the victim needs the items and how easily they can replace them, where a theft kind of becomes more like attempted murder than it is just a petty theft.
Let's talk to James in Vegas. James, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Melanie, and Mark. Hello. Hello, James in Vegas.
Yes, Melanie, the big news in Phoenix this Friday was a young man at 25 was murdered in the line of duty. I'm sure you like such things. So to paraphrase you, Melanie Johnson should be shot on sight, along with Mark Edgington and Ian Bernard, who placate and enable Mad Cow Melanie to tell the live studio audiences such immoral sentiments with her being accepted and not me.
So you're calling Melanie
and all
immoral?
The lies, you're never going to get away with the lies you told about me on the public airwaves, Ian and Mark. I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to ruin your life, Mark Edgington. And if I didn't fear Jesus, you would have already suffered the fate of Mark Edgington.
If Jesus was real, he would have struck your insane ass down by now.
What do you do for that? What do you do for that?
If there was a loving God, he would smear your disgusting piece of filth off the planet.
Yeah, no part of that was an argument, so I don't really
have
have a
anything to
particular
say?
need to respond to it.
All right, there you go. Thanks for the call, James in Vegas. Let's go to Donnie in Rhode Island. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Donnie.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, what's on your mind?
There's a site on human trafficking. It's Danielle Sittel, Sittel, through Google. It says 1387. There's a YouTube caption that says Corruption 2 under it. You drag to the last 5 minutes as a timeline. They put a contract
we
on the
asked
guy's
you
life.
to not call and promote your own YouTube channel. You don't get away with it by calling under a different name and pretending like it's not your channel. Okay? Just want to let you know that. Thanks for the call. Let's talk to Sarah in New Mexico. The best call of the segment. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Oh, yes.
Save the best for last.
Finally, yes, the thing is the New York Housing Authority, they're going to ban smoking on all properties.
Really?
So I think all indoor smoking, no more smoking indoors inside your home.
No more smoking outdoors.
Well, I think outdoors, maybe a designated area, maybe 25 feet away from the property.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're going to do, but no smoking indoors. So I don't know what the smokers are going to do.
So you'd rather be outside where other people are walking by than inside where they live? Is that are you advocating this law or just stating that it exists?
Oh, I support it completely.
Well, because, the thing is, the vents are connected. If one person smokes, like 30 other people have to breathe it, or all the walls that are connected. So that's the problem. So
yeah, I've never had that problem in an apartment, and I know that I've lived in an apartment with people who smoked nicotine and other substances. I've never had
Maybe you just weren't sensitive enough to it or something? No?
I mean, but if we're talking about just cigarette smoke coming through the vent.
Mark, you said
Hold on.
you support this?
Yeah, I support this. Sure.
Why?
This is public housing?
Yeah.
Well, it's their property.
Wait,
if you
no,
wanna
public
live on,
housing or
New York Housing Authority.
Okay, I misunderstood that. So not just public buildings like apartment complexes, like actually like the projects.
Housing. Yeah, the project.
Okay,
Right.
that's not the same.
If
Okay,
you're going
that's
to receive public money, then by God, you better not be wasting your money on things like cigarettes.
Sarah, thanks for calling tonight. We're out of time, but if you didn't get in tonight, well, you can join us tomorrow for another live edition of Free Talk Live. Maybe we'll talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy thing then, or whatever happens to be on your mind. You can always take control of the airwaves here on Free Talk Live. Between now and then, you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. Don't forget our Discord server at discord.lrn.fm.
Are you making sense to the boomer mindset? I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. 80 million baby boomers comprise 25% of the population and control most of the USA's wealth. As aging parents pass on, they'll control more. Boomers are 46 to 65 years old and regard themselves as midlife. They identify as neither young nor old. They're post-minivan and pre-retirement, and they don't like being called boomers. They think me. Many of the purchases boomer couples make are individual purposes. They've been experimenters all their lives. If you want their attention, tell stories and keep it simple. If something seems complicated, boomers can dismiss it as, I don't need this. And if you're looking for work, you may be applying to a boomer, so relate accordingly. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. There are lots of ways ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, July 30th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,222 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $29, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,134. Antiwar.com reports last week a delegation from the U.S. State Department was in Qatar to meet with Taliban officials. Officials are now saying that the meeting ended quite positively and that both sides have agreed to hold more meetings in the future. Taliban officials said this was short of peace talks and described it instead as meetings on the process of initiating formal and purposeful talks. They added that there were very positive signals from the meeting and that it was held in a friendly atmosphere. This was particularly significant in that the Taliban officials in Doha were willing to confirm that the meetings happened at all and spoke favorably about future meetings. In general, even when the Taliban is known to be in talks, they tend to be very reluctant to talk about it to the press. It is U.S. officials who are being more evasive about the process, with the State Department having affirmed that the U.S. is exploring all avenues to advance a peace process, but the delegation itself so far refused to either confirm or deny that any talks had taken place. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. UPI reports President Donald Trump threatened on Sunday to shut down the federal government if congressional Democrats don't vote in favor of various border security policies. Trump shared a tweet Sunday morning stating he would allow the government to shut down for the third time during his presidency to secure funding for a border wall between the United States and Mexico and changes to U.S. immigration laws. Trump wrote on Twitter, "I would be willing to shut down government if the Democrats do not give us the votes for border security, which includes the wall. Must get rid of lottery, catch and release, etc., and finally go to a system of immigration based on merit. We need great people coming into our country." Immigration policy was also a central factor when the government shut down for 2 days in January as Democrats fought for a fix for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which provides a pathway for young undocumented immigrants brought into the United States by their parents. Trump had previously made similar statements at various rallies throughout the nation and said in February he would love to see the government shut down if Congress did not agree to changing immigration laws. During a roundtable with law enforcement officials in February, he said, "I'd love to see a shutdown if we can't get stuff taken care of. If we have to shut it down because the Democrats don't want safety, let's shut it down." 3 days later, he signed a new 2-year budget deal, ending a 5.5-hour government shutdown. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports efforts were underway Monday to rescue hundreds of climbers stranded on Mount Rinjani in Indonesia's Lombok Island a day after a powerful 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck the popular tourist destination, according to a disaster agency official. 14 people were killed and villagers were sent fleeing from their beds into open fields to avoid collapsing buildings. The quake, which rocked the island early in the morning when many people were still asleep, injured 162 people and damaged thousands of houses. Electricity was cut off in the worst hit area. Simbalun, a sparsely populated area of rice paddies, and the slopes of Mount Rinjani on the northern side of the island. According to a disaster mitigation agency spokesman, a 30-year-old Malaysian woman visiting the popular trekking destination was among those killed. The spokesman said the area was temporarily closed to climbers because there were reports of landslides. Hundreds of climbers were being evacuated from the Rinjani National Park, and 115 have been safely escorted out so far. He added the most pressing needs right now are medical personnel, stretchers, health equipment, kids' wares, and food. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Saying that he has no idea what to make of the mixed signals, area man Pete Summers told reporters today he keeps getting ambiguous text messages from local woman Haley Mueller, claiming that she's not at all interested in him.
One minute she's like, I don't want to go out with you. And then she'll mention how she has to go hang out with her boyfriend. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that?
Summers, who first met Mueller at a friend's party last month, informed reporters that the 27-year-old's increasingly perplexing text messages have left him unable to ascertain whether or not she would want to date him. He also noted that Mueller's behavior at social gatherings was equally vague.
Last weekend, we were at a party, and every time I would go up to her, she just said, "Leave me alone." Then I text her the next day, and she totally doesn't even respond. I mean, she just needs to make up her mind and tell me what she wants. She hasn't answered my last 3 phone calls, so maybe I should go over there and make sure everything's okay.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah, no fear, no fear, no fear, no fear, no fear here, and declare your independence of me. Ernest Hancock here in Phoenix, Arizona, F in the BE at beautiful studios of Freedom's of the Nest, Phoenix.com. Ooh, a better one. Okay, this is what we're going to do today. We have in the third hour Chris Duane, going to be talking to us about the economy and silver and metal and man and stuff. We're going to have him on, I think, on a regular basis every month or so just to get a word up. And he's definitely not a fan of, a lot of stuff, but we're going to have a conversation with him. Second hour, Christina Tobin from Free and Equal. They're the ones that put on the third-party debate in 8 and 12, her and Larry King, and made a big woo-hoo out of it. And at Texas A&M, they had a big United We Stand concert all day, speaking, doing, and Jeff Berwick and myself and Luke Radowski and see who else was there. I think Jordan Page and a bunch of the boys. We went to Colin Cantrell from Nexus Earth. We went and gave it what for, but I tell you, Christina Tobin is a hard worker for elections, and I really focus on election fraud. I mean, get the computers out of this thing, but she's wanting everybody to have their say. Well, UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, they had a schedule just like they did at the Texas A&M thing, and they canceled last minute and, lost a lot of her talent and stuff, and they sued. Well, now they're in the negotiation of settlement, and she's on a PR campaign. UCLA should pay up, and they're bad people. So, all right, we'll find out. Maybe we'll talk about this election a little bit, too. That'd be good. All right. Then in the first hour, we're talking to Jim Davidson and Melinda Pillsbury Foster, that's talking about a television station network. They want to have interactive news. They're both on. They're going to tell me all about it. So let's see what they got to say. Let's say good morning to Jim Davidson and Melinda Pillsbury Foster. Say hello.
Well, hello, Ernie. It is so nice to talk to you again.
And Jim?
It's been too long.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. Now, this is one thing. I've known Melinda and Jim for a long time, 15 years or so or something in and around the movement. And it's Freedom Interactive Television Networks Association Limited Partnership of something. Okay. Now, about Freedom Interactive TV, we will all of us be heard. Freedom TV will have everything you expect and what you went looking for with talk radio, the internet. And protest petition
Ernie,
activism.
what it is, it's IPTV. With anything you could have on the internet in terms of interaction, you can have on mass audience, on satellite television. And we're not talking about that sort of, pre-digested stuff that you look at on television now. We're talking about people being able to comment, challenge people who are saying things that aren't true, if that's the case, and also hear from each other and have a completely different kind of experience. And we have 12 network shows that are designed. One of them is American Referendum, and you can do an instantaneous referendum from everybody who is on the show and see exactly what people think right then and there, and what they think ongoing about a dialogue. But we also have a show called Congressional Clearinghouse, which will help us clear the House and take back Congress as a vehicle for representing Americans. So
all right.
That's a couple of the things we're doing.
Okay, this is. All right, let me give you some experience here just recently. Matter of fact, I talked about it when we were at the Texas A&M thing last month, or like 6 weeks ago. This is the situation. You have Luke Radowski from We Are Change and I did a joint thing, and using each other as examples. And for Luke to do his television or his YouTube presentations, you get up there and you say yakety yakety yak. Well, now they have a live Facebook thing that you can do video, and while you're talking at the bottom of the screen live, it has emojicons, emojis that goes across there. You're happy, sad, up, thumbs down, the little dial in the debates that they do, the green line goes up, the red line goes down, da 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 da. Well, what happens is I'm going, wow, this is data for the man. They're going, look, so many thousands of people in the poll, and they think this about that, and it goes up and down and so on. And I'm going, okay, surveillance. So one of the first things when you have more and more interactive information like this, it's big time resource for those that wish to surveil the opinion live on certainly things of political interest. So my first question is, you have something as powerful as this. Is the man plugged in? Are you a man plug in? You got to plug in for the man, do you? Huh? Do you?
No, absolutely not. We have 12 companies that we're working with who we're anxious to partner with us for the tech. The tech package for the interaction will be under our control. There'll be no man.
All right. Well, maybe a woman. That'll make it better. So we'll do that.
A little man that we're going to bounce off the walls, and he can just take it, put it where the sun don't shine as far as we're concerned.
Okay, Jim, what do you think of this? Jim is a speaker, teacher, consultant, forensic accountant, author, entrepreneur. He's been around on boards at Freedom something. He's got an opinion about everything. You got an opinion about this, I'm sure. Tell me everything.
Well, I think it's a way to make a lot of money, which can be used for good. It also is a good thing by itself to get feedback and get people involved instead of being passive drones sitting in front of a television screen absorbing whatever it's feeding them. People interacting gets them involved, gets their minds more active, and it's not just a tool for hypnosis.
Well, it all comes...
I have seen...
You've seen what?
One of the experiences I had was seeing a group of preschoolers who set up an empty box because they wanted to watch television and there was no television in the preschool. So they set up an empty box and they sat around it and they stared into the empty box. And I'm just hoping that they had something in their heads, that they weren't just waiting for the box to give them ideas, but that they were imagining that this was.
That
kind of behavior is very strange.
It's a campfire thing. Evening, you're winding down, you go to the, you're sitting around, the campfire and you're just staring into the fire. And when we first started doing radio, there's a channel that I have, one of the channels here. It just kind of went out and I stopped using it. But because now I just put it to my side yard, just because there's, my aquaponic thing that we're doing. That's what you see. And that used to go to a device that had JPEGs in it of just pictures of old glowing-faced radios. Because when they went to the radio museum, I remember years ago, it came just stuck in my head that when they were going to the radio museum and they listened to some of the shows, it'd be like Only the Shadow Knows. And they were sitting in this auditorium and it's boring, or maybe they were doing like a PowerPoint show and stuff. They didn't like that. They wanted to make it like you're talking about, just sitting in front of an old radio. So they put up in the amphitheater on the screen a big radio. And all I did was sit there and stare at this radio. Well, there's something to that, okay? So hopefully, like you say, you're getting something good out of it. From the first letter of Captain Mark. History is full of flowery documents claiming to limit the power of the crown. But these poetic social contracts have been impotent to prevent the predation. Limited government is a lie they use to keep us submissive. The crown cannot be trusted to abide by its founding charters, nor its treaties, nor even its own rules. The essence of the crown is centralized violence, and I've had enough. That's why I raised my black banner. I am no revolutionary. My aim is not to reset the cycle of violence, but to break it. My aim is an evolved society, invisible to the crown. Not a new hierarchy, but decentralized networks with no central figure for the crown to target. If you want your servile life, keep it, but we will not submit to the crown's agenda. And when you are ready to stop being its beast of burden, ready for adventure and opportunity, join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence. Okay, we got Melinda Pillsbury Foster and Jim Davidson on talking about a Freedom TV network they want to do. Freedom TV Networks, plural.com. All right, it's an interactive television, and there's a lot of Are we using the internet? Is it broadcast over some licensed airwaves?
Ernie, this will be broadcast over satellite and through all mediums. You'll be able to get it on your phone, on your laptop, any place that you want to get it.
Well, my big screen television in my living room. Yes, no, it's...
yes, that's right. Yes,
okay.
The big television in your living room will also carry it.
Okay, now this is
on satellite.
All right, let me ask questions.
And one of our partners is LBI Sat, and they're also helping us with our coordination, along with the 12 tech companies who are providing what we're going to be using for the interactive technologies.
All right. Now, there is going to be the production of material. There has to be. It's content. Content. You will find an outlet if you got the freaking content. So I'm going, all right, is there a production location? Is it being pulled from individual independent productions? How is it going to be made?
LBI Sat has offered us a studio in Culver City, one in New York, one in D.C., and several around the world, wherever we want them.
Content. You're going to, at these studios,
that is going
you
to be
have
content. The content is people. The content is change. The content is people speaking out and coming up with the solutions that they are going to utilize in the free market instead of looking at just evading government. We're going to blast it out of the way with the free market.
I understand, but then you become public access. Then you become public access television. Okay, it is. People coming in. Is there going to be production standards? Is there someone in charge? Is there? The content.
I'm in charge of content, Ernie.
You're in charge of content.
I'm in charge of content.
Okay. So I go in, I go, Melinda, pick me, and then what happens?
I'm in charge of content, Ernie.
Okay.
I might pick you. We'll just see what you're.
Thank you. So I do that, and let me ask questions, Melinda. I make the application. I go. I say, pick me. Then what happens?
You want to be a producer, Ernie?
I am a producer. Now what? Mm-hmm.
You can be a producer on interactive television. You can have your own show. I know you can sell advertising. You get your advertisers. We take 15% because that also is going to pay for your interactive package. That's going to ensure, one, that you're not going to have to worry about the man, but two, that people can do everything that they want to do that's in that package. One of the things that we're going to be, one of the shows that will be coming up, is called Whether or Not You Survive. And Cryon Higo is going to be, they're the ones that do, when you look at a football game and the colors change so you can see what's happening on the field, they're going to be the ones that show you where the toxicity is in your neighborhood.
So you guys, this is special effects, okay? Now, this is content 24. Let me ask questions. Content 24/7 on one network? Are there multiple channels? Are you just doing one, so you need 24 hours of content, or do you have more channels that you need?
We are anticipating having to grow out into multiple networks with subjects like finance, cryptocurrencies, so that people can interact, they can dialogue about what's working and what's not working. They can assess the directions that they want for their lives and for their money and for their jobs, and also for what businesses they're going to start that are going to move us into a very different kind of world.
Okay, now this kind of technology and this ability is coming. We see it because the broadcast networks just suck. And then you have things like YouTube, and then they suck. And then you have Real.video that Mike Adams is doing over at Natural News, the health ranger guy. He's like, they suck, so we're going to do our own. Well, of course, he's going to run it or curate it or produce it or be in charge of it or whatever the heck they're going to do. And we signed up over there a long time ago, and they contacted with us, but I'm not really... See, I want to be able to put up my Catapult channel. If I can't put up my Catapult channel, then, I'm not interested, and you probably don't want my Catapult channel. But the point...
I don't know what your Catapult...
Little baby, furry, white, fluffy, cute kittens getting catapulted into saguaro cactuses with spines going through their bodies. When you can do that, and you can't censor it, and you can't take it down, and it can't be targeted or deleted, then you know you're free. Because,
Arnie,
man,
we don't have any censorship.
Censorship. See, this is my point. It's not that I do it. It's just that when
Arnie, we don't have censorship.
No, but you see, you're still producing. You're selecting. Is that going to be archived videos, or is it all live all the time, or is it like tape shows that will be broadcast live?
Hey, live shows can be recycled and people can watch them again.
Okay, so they select. So it's a interactive, YouTube, Facebook. We produce real video content.
It's going to be on television, and people can, if they want to watch. Let me explain how this actually started.
Please. Well, I need to know how it works. How I interface with it.
If let's say the live show is on, you can't make the live show. You can watch a recording of the show and find out what happened and still vote and still have a lot of different kinds of interaction that get counted so that they're in the cache there and people will be able to see them and access them. Also, we want people to be able to get together if they decide they like an idea and start their own show.
Oh, so it's like video meetup.
There is a meetup component, yes.
Okay, so this is for political. This is politics. This is general opinion. This is...
It's for whatever we want. We're not telling people what to do. Here's a tool. You decide what you want to do with it. Here's the shows. If this sparks something that a group you decide you want to do something else, we'll show you how to do a show.
Okay, tell me how it started. Go ahead and let's start from there and see what niche we're trying to fill here. Go.
In 1992, a guy was driven up to 38%. His name was H. Ross Perot. And the reason he got 38% was because of the originator of Phone Voter, which we now call Freedom Interactive Television. And what happened is people were using their Capital calling cards to make phone calls, listen to his talks, and say whether or not they agreed. But they could also say whether or not they thought that there should be a law. And what they found was that a lot of people said, no, I don't like people doing that, but I don't think that there should be a law to prevent it. And the impact...
Okay, wait. I don't want to talk over you with the music here. This is, let's go ahead and... when we come back, we'll go back to the beginning of the idea and what the intent is. Is it entertainment, information, interaction, voting? Is it, we'll find out.
It's change.
Change? Is that what you said? Okay, well, we're going to find out when we come back in just a little bit. Melinda Pillsbury...
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the 5th caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN FM.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees.